Big Mom has the craziest powers and has been consistently one of the most dangerous characters. But as some of you already know, she ended up chasing Luffy all the way to Wano without her giant fleet. And in doing so, put herself in a position where she had to fight 2 up-and-coming pirates. And no matter how strong she was, we have to ask the question, did Big Mom get a fair fight?
I think she did. I definitely think she did. First of all, when you are at Yonko level, nothing is fair. We seen Kaido fight Kid. He fought multiple people. You know what I'm saying? He fought this guy, he fought multiple of the worst generation, and he defeated all of them.
He didn't really fight them. A couple of them gave up immediately. So that I can't count that as a fight. That was not technically a jumping. And you know you were really, really strong.
Listen, man, all I know is when you're on that level, you cannot expect a fair fight. That's not, fair is not in the pirate. We were pirates. You get me? There's no fairness in pirate thing, okay? You either fade or you get whooped. That's what it is.
I feel like it wasn't fair, obviously, because Luffy called her out. Luffy said, "Hey, I'm coming over there." You remember the snail phone conversation?
Yes.
When they were
at Fishman Island.
Fishman Island.
Yes.
Gave her the call, told her, "Hey, I'm coming over there. I'm gonna put hands on you," right? So now you end up in Big Mom's territory, right? You don't start throwing hands with her. You take off running. When Big Mom came after you, you threatened me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm gonna fight you. They ran out of her territory. Big Mom was so angry that she followed them all the way to the land of Wano and went in there by herself.
Where she clicked up with Kaido because she knew Cousin she was legit. So technically, you try to get off.
She did not try to get off.
Yes, she did.
Remember, her ship was trying to climb up that river, and they kept kicking the ship down.
Yeah.
So she couldn't even come with her whole crew. I feel bad for Big Mom.
I don't.
Because listen, Big Mom had a whole fleet. I had to fight 2 grown men, not no other chick. 2 grown men without my entire fleet. Everybody had their right-hand man, right? Kid had his right-hand man. Killer was there, wasn't he?
Where's Law's right-hand man? Beppo don't do nothing.
Hey, it is what it is. Right.
Yeah, okay then.
Beppo's
and then let's look at
like
it
a
this
cute
way.
bear thing.
Let's look at it this way. Luffy has a whole fleet.
Yes.
He got from Doflamingo's territory. He don't bring them nowhere. He only rides with people on his ship.
You can't
He's
bring
outmatched every time.
You can't bring that entire fleet with
Why
him.
can't?
That fleet
Whitebeard, when he was a Marineford, brought the whole fleet.
That was Marineford. He doesn't feel like Luffy does not feel like he needs to bring his whole fleet.
Luffy went to Big Mom's territory with only his ship. He went to Kaido's territory with only his ship. Even though he has a fleet of people ready to die for this man.
All I'm saying is that when the fight started, I felt like Big Mom should have got a one-on-one with somebody. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Big Mom would have fared very well if she fought Luffy. Because at this point, Luffy's like immune to electricity or lightning. Fire seems to have no effect on him also now. So
once he would hit her with roll, it would have been over. We know this. You know what I'm saying? Once you start hitting her insides, it would have been over for her. So
but
she got off easy. She got off light. Okay?
But it should have been a one-on-one.
Why? Why should it be a one-on-one?
Because I feel like if you call somebody out, you gotta fight them, right?
Listen, I'm saying you're not good enough to fight me. Because if I would have fought you, first of all, I'm stronger than Kid and Law. That's a fact.
That is true.
They whooped you.
I don't think she was very aware of Kid's ability or Law's ability. I don't remember her having any interaction with them prior to that, right?
No.
So I don't know their ability. They're devil fruit eaters. But at this point, dudes are disappearing when I'm throwing stuff at them.
You literally can put your soul into whatever.
It's one ability. I got some soul fruit.
I can take your soul out of your body.
The guy
is taking people's soul out of their bodies.
I have to figure out why a guy is disappearing. I have to figure out why I'm being pulled to objects. I'm over here like, is this magnetism? Can this guy just disappear? Is that his ability? Big Mom had to figure all that out while fighting 2 grown men.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Grown men.
The way things are looking, I think if Zoro was healthy, he could have slashed her up. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, he could have slashed her.
Because she seems not as strong as we thought.
Whoa.
All right?
Well, I'm not gonna say that.
I can say that.
Big Mom looked very powerful to me.
Jinbei, give me your sword. Jinbei looked at her in the eyes and said, I ain't giving you nothing.
Jinbei
he toasted her and said, I'm out.
Jinbei's a warlord. That's not small fries.
Hold on. Do you understand that Zoro, Kid, and Law are at least warlord level?
I'm just saying Jinbei could have been on Yonko level. This is like one of the strongest fishmen. Is he not one of the strongest fishmen?
It doesn't matter.
I can't even think right now of a fisherman that's stronger than him. Can we?
No.
Okay.
But again, if you want to classify as fisherman, fine. But again, like I believe personally, Shanks could have made quick work of Kaido. I think Shanks was holding off Kaido on purpose.
I don't think.
Shanks would have made quick work because again,
I'm gonna need to see more of Shanks before that.
If I got problems with you like this, how could I just leave fighting you in the war and go to Marineford and tell everybody tighten up? That is, you don't do that. You can't be in a war with somebody else and be like, hey man, I'll be right back. Go to somewhere else, get them right, and then come back. That's crazy.
It could just be that Shanks has like a trump card that he's
not
not
it could be that.
And I'm kind of familiar.
Kaido, you weak. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you chill. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get you up out of here yet. You know what I'm saying? I think he was like, hey man, one of my little homies gonna come get you up out of here, so I'm gonna go chill.
Speaking of little homies, Big Mom didn't have any of the little homies with her. The little homies she created.
Cap.
What homies was there?
Peronin. That nigga was. He got slapped out.
He's not a homie. The homies are all the objects that she put her souls in. She has a whole military full of homies. She had flowers that be dancing.
She had the sword that she put her soul
okay,
in. She wore the hat.
Those are basic weapons.
She created a new lightning cloud because the other one was acting up. Come on, man.
It took a lot out of her to put that into it. Plus, let's be real. She was getting jumped the whole time. It wasn't only Kid and Law. Every time she turned the corner, there was like a straw hat there, ready to fight her. Some guy with a robot screaming super, like she was fighting everybody.
Listen, Big Mom knew what it was when you became a pirate. Okay, when y'all fought the Rocks pirates, y'all jumped them boys and they slapped you up.
Who jumped who?
It was Goldie Roger and Garp versus the Rocks pirates, which is Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, and Rocks. You jumped and you lost. You jumped and lost. There's no. That's the question.
But they didn't go looking for them.
They weren't hunting them down. You said everybody deserves a fair one. They did not get fair ones.
You said, I'm coming over to your crib, I'm going to put hands on you, and you hung up the phone. You showed up to my crib, and I start chasing you, and next thing you know, you're fleeing out of my territory. Not only that, you got your reindeer or fox friend transforming, hitting me. You got your little skeleton guy attacking me. I'm like, hey, I want to fight you. You said you wanted to fight me.
Okay, I want to fight you. I didn't want to have to fight Cracker. I didn't want to fight Cockney just to fight you. So you wore me down with your generals, with your jits. You said, send jit after me, whatever, to wear me down, tire me out, and you gonna get an easy beat? They don't want that way.
She didn't have to send them. Those are her children.
Oh, so now
your kids aren't gonna fight on your behalf?
So now,
that's crazy.
He has to fight both of your kids, and he fight you? Stop it. Let my dog regenerate. Let my dog get some time. And when he got time, what happened?
When he got time, you decided to fight Kaido.
Yes, the person who's stronger than you. He's stronger.
If he's so strong, why didn't he fight Kaido then me? Right? Or me then Kaido?
I was gonna come back and see you. They slapped, the little homie slapped you out. I told you, hold on, this dude gonna come back for you. Next thing I know, you in the bottom of the sea somewhere, talking about where's the One Piece, Roger? That's what you, it's not my fault.
That's all she wanted. She just wanted to know what the One Piece was.
Well, guess what?
She don't even want One Piece.
You'll never find out. You'll never find out. You're in the bottom of the sea somewhere.
All I'm saying is that if I leave my hometown, start gathering a crew of men, and I'm extremely powerful, and I feel like I'm gonna find whatever this One Piece thing is. I mean, they're my friends. I'm gonna the whole crew, best friends. Everybody's just running around helping me, right? And we get to a point where I get threatened by another pirate, and I'm like, oh, you threatening us? And I come after you, and as I'm coming after you, y'all pushed my ship out of the way. Once my ship is pushed out the way, I'm like, damn, it's only me? And next thing you know, I'm getting jumped by your right-hand man, your foot soldiers. Everybody's just beating up on me. And I'm just like, damn, I thought this was a one-on-one fight. You called me out.
Do you understand that when Luffy went to Whole Cake Island, he wasn't even full with his crew. His right-hand man wasn't even there. Oh, you don't remember that? Zoro was in Wano, waiting for his captain to come. So now, you want me to fight you without my right-hand man, and I literally beat your two right-hand men. Cracker and Cockney were the generals of her army. They're the two strongest. I already slapped them up. So now, my right-hand man who would probably whooped up Cockney or some junk, or probably fought Cracker at least, he wasn't there with me. My other right-hand man, you know what I'm saying, Sanji, you had hemmed up. I couldn't use him. So I had to fight two of your sons. and get wore down, and now you telling me to fight you also when you fully powered and Gucci with all your people. Nah, bro, you can't work that way. And again, once my alliance and your alliance came together, because again, you made an alliance with Kaido.
That is true. They made an alliance, so I didn't deny that.
I had an alliance with Law. My alliance whooped you. That's what it is. He made an alliance. The alliances.
Well, I feel like it's not fair, so we'll agree to disagree. Now that Shanks is finally on the attack, we can see that he's on a collision course with Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates. And at this point in the series, everyone is reaching their maximum abilities, which as most of you know is next level. So we have to ask the question, do you believe that Shanks and Luffy are actually going to fight?
Absolutely. I've never doubted this. There was never a question in my mind that Luffy and Shanks would fight. Because the fact of the matter is this, man. Both of them have the same goal. I think, personally, Shanks was just waiting for somebody strong enough. Shanks didn't want to get the One Piece easy. I think Shanks never even had a problem with Kaido. I think Kaido was light work for him.
Wait, so you believe that Shanks made himself his own villain?
Yes, like Mr. Glass did for Bruce Willis, all right?
Nah,
yes,
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
So you think they're gonna fight like serious, not a playing fight? Because I believe they're going to fight, but it's going to be something more like near the end of the series, something more, I don't want to say playful, but like not serious. Nobody's trying to actually knock the person off.
I think Shanks is more sinister than we think.
Okay,
I think Shanks, because here's the thing, and we don't know much about Shanks, so I do think that like everybody just assumed that Shanks is a nice guy who, you know, like Luffy or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But we also don't think about how much Shanks knows, because think about it this way. He was on Goldie Roger's ship. He's seen a lot. There's a lot of things that he probably knows that most people don't, because he was on the King of the Pirates ship. What does he know that most people don't?
That is true. I think personally, if Oda decided to make Shanks the actual villain, that would be a nice twist to me. If he's like a big villain that actually has to fight Luffy, which would be strange. I don't know how he pieced it together, but he's a genius, obviously.
I have an idea. I have an idea what I think he's gonna do, because
I'm anime only. He reads the manga, so
I have an idea. But my thing is, like, I just feel like Shanks, he operates. He seems like he knows what's gonna happen before it happens a lot of times. even with the whole Kaido situation, I feel like he knew Luffy was gonna beat him. I mean, why would you even be in that area? Because then he's like,
maybe that was just in case.
So just in case he gonna just show up and beat. Come on,
if Kaido was whooping on my guy, man, just in case I might pop up.
There's no way that would have been the case because I feel like personally, Shanks. There's multiple times where Luffy had real issues. Obviously CP9. Obviously, Crocodile. Man lost Crocodile like 3 times. Crocodile was
problem.
You know what I'm saying? And then even more with the Marineford. That was another situation where Luffy could have literally either gotten killed or been arrested. And Shanks never intervened. Shanks only intervened in the Marineford at the end and like basically made everybody stop just to get the bodies back.
Yeah.
So like to me, I feel like if Shanks really felt that Luffy could have been in trouble, he would have intervened way before that because I feel like the Kaido situation, yes, he was in trouble. But so is the Crocodile situation, so is the CP9 situation. There's a lot of situations where Luffy was in serious trouble.
Okay, but now that I've seen Shanks attack from the last episode, I saw he was able to kind of pull out Haki and I guess remove your devil fruit ability for a while. I can't tell exactly what his ability was, but he was able to nullify your fruit, right? If he fought Luffy, how would Luffy even beat somebody who has that ability?
With hands! What are you talking about? He said, Luffy, I thought your fist was strong as pistols there is, man. You got these hands for Shanks, man. What are you talking about?
Listen. I know Shanks is missing an arm.
A whole arm.
But that man's a sword user. It chop you up.
Armament hockey, bro. Like, it's gonna be a hockey battle. It's not gonna be a devil fruit battle.
Yeah, it would be definitely a hockey battle.
And I see, like, obviously, remember when Luffy's always been smart. Even when in Marineford, when he was gonna attack Mihawk, before he got his arms chopped off, he realized what was gonna happen and he put his hands down and hit the ground before he got his arms chopped off.
Yeah.
Same thing. I know Luffy's smart to know that if this man uses a sword, I cannot attack him all willy-nilly. Especially if I don't have armor hockey on this situation. And mind you, look what Luffy has. Just not even, let's remove the devil fruit. Let's remove Gear 5 and all that. He has Roll. He has Conqueror Haki. His Conqueror Haki is pretty strong.
Yeah.
We can make an argument that it's stronger than Kaido's. So if that is the case, I think the 2 probably strongest Conqueror Haki users in the One Piece universe right now is Shanks and Luffy.
Well, one thing I will say, they got Luffy looking like a boss at this point.
Absolutely.
Like at the end of that, the last episode that, you know, when he was, when they were watching Momonosuke fight, when they were sitting on that rooftop and everybody was just kind of smiling and had that look like, hey, we could come out there and finish him for you, but
he gonna handle the boys. I'm not gonna lie.
And I do believe he knew that was Shanks.
Absolutely.
Shanks Haki.
Absolutely.
He bumped into that Haki multiple times. But here's one interesting thing why I don't truly believe it would be a real fight. When Luffy usually fights somebody, his crew lines up with the group. How could I say? Zoro would fight what? Beck?
Yes, Beckman.
Usopp would fight
Yasopp,
but I don't believe a father and son would really fight. See, I can't see the matchup.
Here's the thing. I see what you're saying, but this is what I think. I get your point, but this is why I think you're not really looking at. I don't think Luffy's is gonna want to kill Shanks. I think Luffy's gonna defeat Shanks. I don't think he's gonna kill Shanks. I think he reveres Shanks too much. But I do think it's gonna be a serious fight. So it's not like
it's the staging that would be weird. Maybe that's what it is for me. The staging of the fight would be weird.
For me, I don't think so because it just depends on what Shanks knows. Like first, let's say hypothetically speak. Let's say Shanks knows the 800-year history and never told Luffy.
Correct.
Or let's say let's say there's something at Laugh Tale that Shanks discovered that Luffy needs to know.
I think Shanks wants the weapon.
Let's say he wants Pluton or one of these weapons and wants to destroy the world government like that. Do you think Luffy would sit by and let him destroy the world government? As much as Luffy doesn't like the government, but I don't think he would sit by and let innocent people get killed.
Nah, he doesn't let like genocide.
Yeah, he wouldn't allow that. So even though he doesn't want, he wouldn't want to fight Shanks, he's not gonna let Shanks kill people off either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is true.
So it just depends on what the way you characterize it, because Luffy is a liberator, but he's also not a whole person. But let's say Shanks thinks that, let's say obviously 800-year history, world government is evil and all that stuff like that, and they have to be eradicated to move forward. Just like Attack on Titan. Eren felt like they had to be eradicated. That's what he felt like. Other people didn't like what they did, but they didn't feel like you should wipe them off the map either. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, another thing that I find weird about Shanks' crew is, I'm just thinking about it. Does he have any women in his crew? Are there no baddies, no nothing on that ship? It's just men?
I haven't seen you, but again.
I can't. I need some type of baddie. I need a Yamato on this ship. I need like a Nami or somebody.
Man, they might be just out here, slaying and keeping it moving.
Oh,
they might be slaying and keeping it moving. They're pirates.
Man, we're on a ship half the time.
Yes, and we're going to islands. We're going to islands and slaying. All right, we're slaying on islands. Okay, this is what it is. The
Shanks got
playboys. They're playboys. All right.
Shanks, you gotta get yourself a Nico Robin on the crew or something.
For why?
This is looking real suspicious, my friend.
For why? For why?
Well,
they're gonna cramp our style. They're gonna tell us no pirating today.
That reinforces what I said. That they wouldn't really battle each other because who would the women line up with? They usually line up with women, don't they? When they usually fight.
Agreed.
Except in the I can't think of a case where they didn't.
Yeah, I think you're right. Usually women line up with women. Only time is when Sanji fights a woman. He doesn't hit her, and then another woman comes in.
Correct.
But again, you're also looking at it like this, right? Because the thing you're not paying attention to is that their crews are technically bigger than what you see. You only seeing a few people on that ship. One. I think he has a fleet, just like Luffy has. I think all these people have fleets.
He has a fleet, but what? I'm gonna be fighting lower level dudes?
Here's the thing. I'm not saying
a chick from ship number 2 or 3.
Because here's the thing. Watch this, right? I believe at one point in the series, Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, all will be on their own ships as a fleet behind Straw Hat Luffy.
I could see that, but I don't think they're gonna do it like that.
They're their own commanders of their ship.
Yeah.
But they're under the banner of like Jozu and Marco.
But the captain of the second ship in their fleet is Bartolomeo.
I mean, well, I don't know who, because the fleet is kind of, you got the.
It's all over the place, but I believe he's the captain of one of the ships.
I don't know, man. I think he's self-proclaimed. Until Luffy says, I think he's self-proclaimed. I think he just rides the hardest for the Straw Hat, which I respect. But
he's a real one.
He's a real one. That boy burning Shanks' flag, man. Freak Shanks, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. To me, that solidified cup for me. I ain't gonna lie. He said, and Louis versus territory. He said, man, what about Shanks? Burn Shanks' flag. Nigga,
he's one of those characters that I find hilarious.
Yeah, I really
like him.
I like him. I like how hard he rides for the Straw Hats. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I think overall, I think Shanks I think he knows more and it might be more serious than we think. Yeah. I think because again, and I think it'll be a perfect twist because it is that mindset that, okay, you thought he was a good guy. He always, looks out for Luffy from the shadows or whatever. But what is his real motive? Because I think it was a time
he definitely has a motive.
Yeah, because we still don't know what his technical, even with him saying, let's go get the One Piece. It felt like he could have got it at any point. Why do you say, literally, it's like he's just, let's go get the One Piece now.
One thing I know, they better not let Buggy get the damn One Piece. Buggy, don't play me like that. Oda, do not play us like that with the series.
Man, Buggy ain't gonna get nothing, bro. Buggy not. Listen, I like.
Buggy's been around forever.
I actually like Buggy. I like Buggy as a character. I really like him, but he ain't about that, man. That conquer hockey, he ain't on it.
That chow fruit, boy, that thing kept this guy alive forever.
Now, mind you, I personally think chow fruit is better than most people think. I think it's actually a pretty good.
I think with another person would have been a better power.
Yeah, I just think Buggy's kind of like, I don't think his goal was ever to be great. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you give it to the right person who wanted to be one of the strongest, he'll be OP. But Buggy's whole goal was, remember, he wanted to get the John's treasure. That was his whole thing. I want to get this treasure and I'm retire, and that's his whole thing. So I think he never really had a zeal for pirating. I think he just wanted to get rich and then retire somewhere. Just like
well, he's a little jealous of Shanks, but beyond that,
I know the only reason he's angry at Shanks is because Shanks made him eat a devil fruit, and so he couldn't get the treasure that he wanted. He was gonna the whole thing was he stole the devil fruit. He was gonna sell that. He was gonna dive in the bottom of the ocean and get the John's treasure. But then Shanks scared him. He ate the fruit, and now he can't go to the bottom of the sea. So he hates Shanks forever.
Damn,
which
cold
makes
world.
sense. I mean, it wasn't Shanks' fault. You should never have the fruit in your mouth. But still, the whole point was he was just gonna sell. He faked it, act like he ate it. He was gonna sell that fruit to get some money, and then he'll go to the bottom of the sea to get the John's treasure because he had the map for it. And then, he had the fruit in his mouth to hide it from Shanks. Shanks hit him in the back, he ate it, and then history, he's a chop man.
Over the years, we have fallen in love with every single Straw Hat member because for some reason or another, you could find something that relates to you in each character. And as we push into the final saga of the story, we can feel that something is about to go down. And it's been hinted that we might lose somebody. So the question has to be asked.
Which Straw Hat won't make it to the end of the series?
I actually have a theory on this. I think Brooke will not make it to the end of the series.
Ooh,
And the reason why I say that, there's multiple reasons. One, he's the oldest character on the show.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm saying? He literally is just a soul. And I think he will be the least missed from the crew. I mean, if you look at Sanji or Zoro or Nami or Usopp, I don't see any of the core being taken out. Frankie wouldn't make that big of an impact. And you know what I'm saying?
Frankie wouldn't make that big of an impact.
I don't think Frankie, listen, and this is just my opinion. And you know, y'all let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. But do people really care about Frankie?
People like Frankie. I see people cosplay Frankie all the time.
Listen, he's mid. I'm not gonna lie. Frankie
He keeps the ship fixed. You can't lose him.
What do you mean? Bro, whoever dies is gonna be at the end of the show. So the ship being fixed.
He's still gonna be a pirate.
Bro, Usopp can fix the ship. Usopp literally was the ship fixer before Frankie was.
I mean, he was keeping it patched together.
And besides, like I said, Frankie's not gonna die. I think Brooke is gonna die. I think Brooke, you know what I'm saying, is probably gonna sacrifice himself and then move on to the greater pastures. And you know, his bones will fall to the ground. And that'll be the end of his story.
I really hope it is Brooke, to be honest with you, as sad as that is. But the only reason I wish it's Brooke is because Brooke's already dead. He jokes about it all the time that he's already dead. So I wouldn't mind that. But I got a feeling Oda knows that we expect it to be Brooke. So he's not going to make it Brooke. He's going to make it another character. One that is gonna rip our hearts out. And I really hope he doesn't do it. But I feel like it's gonna be one of the women.
I doubt it. No, I doubt it.
It could be Nico Robin.
I don't see him killing Nico Robin. I mean, one, because she is an integral part of the show.
Yeah.
So,
but isn't her job done once she reads all the poneglyphs and all that and everything is set up? Isn't her job technically done?
That's you assuming that what if the end on Laptop, the ending thing is a poneglyph to tell the story. Then how is she gonna die?
She reads it and then something happens to her.
No, come on. I don't see her dying. Like I said, I think, and Nami's definitely not gonna die. There's no way.
You can't kill Nami.
You can't kill Nami.
Not beautiful Nami. You're not gonna do that to us.
Luffy would destroy the world if Nami died. So we understand.
That's his gal.
Yeah, like Luffy would go crazy. So like I said, it can't be Nami. It can't be Nico Robin because I think Nico Robin is too integral to the story. Now, some people might believe it might be Sanji. I mean, he is just a cook.
What? Oh, whoa, not just a cook.
He's just a cook.
This man wouldn't even eat if it's not Sanji cooking it. He almost died because Sanji wasn't making the food. You can't lose Sanji. You can't do Sanji, huh?
So then, you can't do Sanji.
Yeah.
You can't do Nami. Again, it's not gonna be Usopp. Actually,
if it's Usopp,
actually, let's
don't
be honest.
do that. Do not do that.
Let's be honest.
Do not. I love that character too much. Do not do that.
Let's be honest though. We gotta keep it real here. If Usopp jumps in front of somebody and dies, did he not become a brave warrior to sea?
I don't care.
Is that not his crescendo?
No.
That's a crescendo.
He's the god. He's not supposed to get killed like that.
That's a perfect crescendo. You know, him being scary, if his last moment is him jumping in front of a bullet or a slash and dying, showing his bravery at the end of the show, that I ain't gonna lie, that's a crescendo. That's a perfect moment.
When they fought the cat pirates, what's their captain's name again?
Kuro.
When they fought Kuro, he jumped in front of Kuro when Kuro went to go slash his girl. He already did that before. What are we gonna repeat it? He's gonna keep getting slashed in the back? Not only that, he took a bullet. He took a bullet for her too. This man did two brave things early on in the series. That's like episode 12.
You do not consider him a brave warrior to see when that happened.
He's already brave. We've already stated, we already showed that this man's brave. He might talk like, you know what I'm saying? He might talk like he's scared, but he always comes through. The big surprise for everybody would really be Zoro. If they knock Zoro off,
First of all, I'm not having no Zoro slander. Hey, listen,
the fan base would.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I am an avid One Piece fan. I love One Piece. If my favorite character Zoro dies, I'm throwing it in the trash. I'm throwing it in the trash.
It depends on how it's done.
It doesn't matter how it's done. It does not matter. Listen,
look at the evidence.
Give me a scenario where Zoro dying would be okay.
Look at the evidence. Zoro and Luffy has already laid out that they're they're just fine dying at the end of a series. Remember when Zoro when Zoro was fighting King? King warned him. He's like, "Hey man, pumping that much hockey into your heart is gonna kill you." And he's like, "Oh, I don't care." He just kind of shrugged it off, like and they did a parallel, right, with Luffy later on when he's fighting Kaido, and Kaido's like, "Hey man, you're using a lot of damn hockey. You're gonna die." And he's like, "I don't care either." So if two people are gonna,
but they always been ready to die. Luffy
is ready to die and doing something that people have warned you is reckless to kill you.
Luffy's too. He said himself, he's shortening his life. Luffy has never been afraid to die. So is Zoro. Zoro was gonna cut off his feet when he was fighting Mr. 3 because he couldn't got a candle situation. They've always been ready to die, but they're not going to die.
So that reckless behavior should lead to some consequence. Now, I don't believe Luffy's gonna die. A lot of people believe Luffy's been shortening his life, been doing all that stuff that is wearing him down, that he's gonna die. I don't believe that. I believe that Law is gonna use that fruit awakening that he says he got, where he could like bring you back to life, but it kills him. I think Law's gonna end up using that for Luffy to save Luffy.
Listen, it's not gonna be Luffy, it's not gonna be Zoro. It's not gonna be Nami, it's not gonna be, like I said, it's gonna be Brook. But if we wanna talk about who is the most likely to die out of the core, let's say the core.
The core, okay.
It's gonna be Usopp. I'm sorry, I know you care for him, but it is a perfect bow. And I love Usopp too, but it is a perfect bow. If he dies like that, it literally defines his character arc. That's what it does.
No,
and you know
what defines his character arc is him becoming a brave warrior. He's already done so much brave things. All it's gonna take is for him to go up against the top class in Blackbeard crew, Blackbeard Sniper, and beat Blackbeard Sniper. He'll have it.
Listen,
Sniper of the King of the Pirates.
Oda's gonna find a way to crescendo this in the most beautiful way, just like he did Odin. He foreshadowed throughout the series that this man's gonna get boiled alive.
Yeah.
He's showing all the brave moments of Usopp, and then he's gonna find a way to crescendo it, where Usopp is forced. Actually, you know what reminds me of?
Usopp has somebody to go home to.
You know what
half these people don't.
That's not true. But you know what reminds me? You know what reminds me? It's gonna remind me of Doctor Who. David Tennant thought he skated. He thought he wasn't gonna die, and then all of a sudden you hear a knock. He looks back, and he knew that was the moment he's gonna die. There's gonna be a situation. Everybody's about to escape, similar to the Ace situation, and then all of a sudden something's gonna happen. Whether Zoro's about to get killed, or Luffy's about to get killed, or something's gonna happen, and Usopp's gonna know that this is my moment to be the brave warrior.
Man, nah.
And he's gonna intervene and die, and it's gonna be.
Why can't it be Jinbei? Jinbei pretty old.
I'm not gonna kill him.
Jinbei pretty old.
Jinbei's impact would be nothing. It would be pointless. Look, I love Jinbei, but first of all, you're the latest newcomer to the series.
Yes.
Your impact is not really felt that much. Let's be honest. I mean, you're all right, but nobody talks about Jinbei.
But Jinbei's gonna have his moments. You know he's gonna have his moments going into the final saga. Oda is great for that, giving everybody their moment to shine.
So you say if Jinbei dies, it's heart-wrenching. Is he gonna plunge his hand into your chest and pull out your heart and squeeze it like when Ace died? No, that doesn't do that for Jinbei.
The only way he could do that is Zoro.
Cap.
Or when it cannot be Usopp. I can't stop it.
Exactly.
I can't
you can't stomach it. He's gonna reach his hand into your chest. He's gonna you guys love the god, and he's gonna squeeze it.
But he's smart enough to know the fan base would not like that at all.
You think the fan base is like Zoro dying?
Hey,
stop it.
But that would be the most wrenching.
Listen, let me ask you, y'all in the comment section, let me know, who do y'all like more, Zoro or Usopp? I ain't gonna lie, I think there's more Zoro fans than Usopp fans.
I'm willing to run a bet on that. You know, maybe I should do a poll or something like that, because I truly believe there's a lot of Usopp fans, man.
There is. But Zoro,
he's more relatable.
If Zoro dies,
how many people you know that's actually as people in your life that are as loyal as Zoro? Not many.
There's not. But listen, yes, I agree.
Now, how many people you know scared and have to sometimes be a little brave?
Listen, but that's why, because everybody would aspire to be like Usopp. Because again, at the end of the day, most people are scared. But there's always a time in your life where you have to man up or be brave. Everybody has experienced a situation where you're afraid and you have to push past your fear to act. And that is what Usopp embodies. Like you said, there's not many people that are Zoro. None of them can connect to Zoro. But there's always people who be like, listen, when push comes to shove, I have to act.
I'm trying to tell you, it'd be better if he took one of the ladies. You know, he could do Chopper.
That would be, first of all, the fan base will revolt. All right? The fan base will revolt, okay? Chopper is one of the most beloved characters on the show, not only by males, but also by females, because how cute he is. They would go crazy. You would
I'm not gonna lie.
You would never do
It's
that.
like killing a puppy in a movie.
Like you
can't kill a
they'll
puppy.
be like, hold it, a piece of, they'll go crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I think Chopper is the least likely to die. Like I said,
Yeah, I'll say that. Chopper,
it has to be Brooke.
I can't see nothing happening to Chopper. I like Chopper.
And especially, think about it this way, if Brooke dies,
yeah.
imagine if he's singing Yo while he's dying. That would you see the goosebumps down your spine. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be bad.
Like I said, simply because he's already dead, I feel like that would be okay.
Blackbeard is an absolute nightmare in One Piece. He has been calculated and merciless, and is always surprising us with his next move, which is always some of the most evil things we've ever seen. So we have to ask the question.
Is Blackbeard going to be the final villain of the series, or do you see somebody else being that?
I don't think Blackbeard is the final villain of the series. I think everyone should probably realize it's gonna be the world government. I see One Piece ending like this, in my opinion. I believe that, they're gonna go to Laugh-Tale. Obviously, he's gonna fight Blackbeard either at Laugh-Tale or right before he gets to Laugh-Tale, whatever that is. They're going to find out what the One Piece is, and I think the One Piece is personally information. I don't think it's the treasure that they're referring to is not, obviously golds and rubies. If you pay attention to the show, they never really care about golds and rubies. I don't think that's what it actually is. I think it's a metaphor for it, like treasure of life, or what the real meaning of life is: freedom, liberty, stuff like that. And he's gonna find out what the D is and what actually happened to those people. And I believe that when he finds that, his goal is to be the liberator and go liberate the world from the world government.
Well, when it comes to him being the final villain, I do think he might be the final villain. I don't think it's the world government. I think the world government will be defeated, but I don't think it's gonna be a battle against the world government. I think whatever information or whatever is there at that is the One Piece, I think Blackbeard's gonna arrive at a certain time. I think Luffy's gonna arrive at a certain time, and I think we're gonna have ourselves a giant battle. Once they get this information, it's going to be the downfall of the government. If anything, there could be some powerful people that are in the government that'll try to reach there at the same time with them, and we could have like a big kind of like a massive battle. But I think it would make sense for Blackbeard to be the final villain.
Why do you think so? Because for me, the whole thing this is why I think the world government, the battle of the world government makes more sense. If you look at what Oda, I think, is doing, Luffy's getting all these allies and all these different islands.
Yeah.
And the world government is so massive, it's literally the world government, where the only way they will be able to be overthrown or defeated is if all these countries come together. and all these different like entities come together. So him having Shirahoshi, you know what I'm saying? Him having Wano and Momosuke and all that stuff. Him having all these, you know what I'm saying, different islands and different people rock on Vivi, you know what I'm saying, Rebecca, all these kings and queens of these islands, they're all gonna rally their armies around the Straw Hat fleet and then fight the world government, and that's the only way the world government would lose.
First of all, you said the One Piece might be information, right?
Yes.
Remember when Goldie found it, he laughed?
Yes.
So I don't know if that's that's information. I can't give it information. I really feel like it might be I thought it was a weapon, to be honest with you. Some type of, not your traditional type of weapon, but something unique, something that could be used for good and evil. Something that would be funny to them, you know? And they're like, you know what? I'm not taking it with me. But it's interesting that the world should know what the heck this thing is.
I mean, I think the way you look at laughter depends. So like, sometimes people laugh because something's funny. Sometimes people laugh because it's so like basic that it's funny, because we did all this work to get something that's so, you know what I'm saying, mundane, or something so minuscule, or something so basic that you would be like, all this work I did to get here and this is what this is. I think that's the laughter that he had. Like, you know what I'm saying, we all deserve to be free. You remember that just one sentence, and everybody like, and then they laugh like, this is the hidden treasure of the world, is we should all be free. Like, we know that, you know what I'm saying, type jump. So that's why I think that's why I think it's considered laugh tale, because I think people are all expecting it to be this grandiose, crazy, you know what I'm saying, maybe treasure or whatever it is, and it might be like one sentence where it says we all should deserve to be free, and everybody just starts laughing because they're like, this is what we was waiting for, you know what I'm saying, maybe something so anticlimactic that it makes you laugh.
Okay, let's say this though. Do Blackbeard fight Luffy with a fleet? Like, I'm talking about an entire fleet. You know how they've built their fleets together? Because Blackbeard is building a team that looks like some A-list worst villains you've ever seen in your life.
I agree, but my thing is this, right? I think Blackbeard's team is A1, but I'm like, I don't see a fleet though. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luffy, like,
it's pretty big now. He keeps giving them devil fruits.
But it looks like it's just like random pirates. You know what I'm saying? It looks like it's
random.
Like, it looks like it's like, well, not the like.
They're elite.
Not like you know what I'm saying, Shiruro the Rain. Not them. They're like I picture them matching up with the Straw Hat crew. I'm talking about the rest of the guys, and they're just random pirates, just random thugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think none of them could match up to. You know what I'm saying, Bartholomew, not Bartholomew, Bartolomeo. You know what I'm saying? I don't think none of them can match up with, you know what I'm saying, Chinjao, or any of these guys that are like, were top tier pirates. So I don't see, that's another reason why I don't think it's gonna be that, because if Luffy comes with his full force, do you think Blackbeard's full force will be, unless these dudes become so strong where they're knocking out Chinjao with one hit? You know what I'm saying? Like,
remember, Oda said he's going to write the largest or greatest battle in manga history.
Yes.
And when he said that, it made me think Blackbeard. It made me think the Marines. But really, it's only Blackbeard I can see that can have a giant. Well, I could see there could be a 3-people war, but
it could be a 4-people war.
Blackbeard he's all over the place with his plans. It seems like he's hurting the people that he works for. He's hurting his enemies. I don't know. He's just all over the place. I don't know where his mind is.
What if it's this? What if it's Luffy and his crew, and they team up with Shanks and their crew, and Blackbeard teams up with the world government to defeat them?
Well, that would be interesting. That'd be a big battle.
Let's look at it this way, right? Because remember, if you think about the Rocks Pirates thing, whatever, Gold D. Roger and you know what I'm saying, Garp teamed up to beat the Rocks Pirates with how strong they are.
Which is still suspicious to me. I don't read the manga, but come on now. How two people gonna beat? That team was, come on now. The Rocks Pirates.
Listen.
Big Mom in her prime. Kaido in his prime.
What are in their prime? That's debatable. That's debatable. Whitebeard, yes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm talking about Kaido. He was still a young buck. He was like, he looked like
Kaido was knocking folk out at like 3. You see Kaido's background story?
Listen. He was knocking reggies out at 3. Yes. He's not. We talking about, these are the top of the top. We talking about Gold D. Roger and Garp, who, honestly, let's be honest, he could have been Fleet Admiral if he played ball.
That's what it is. Oda, you're gonna have to show us that. You're gonna have to show us that fight. I know you good for it too.
I definitely think that war's gonna be shown, but that's what I'm saying. So like, maybe that might be the case. Maybe the whole thing is, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, 2 Yonkos versus another Yonko in the world government. That would be the biggest battle in history. You know what I'm saying? Especially because of how big the world government is. And I don't put it past Blackbeard getting paid off by the world government to defeat other pirates. You know what I'm saying? I don't
he's a sicko. He'll
you
do
know what I'm
anything.
saying? I think he'll do anything. I think, you know what I'm saying? And I think the world government might be desperate enough to, especially if it's the D information, they might be desperate enough to be like, hey, bro, to keep this information from getting out to the public and what we really did, why would they not work with it? Well, they've done it before. They did it with the 7 Warlords.
They did, but Blackbeard, man, he can't be trusted, man.
He can't.
He
And
will
again,
stab you in the back.
He would. But do you think here's the thing, just because they're working with him, do you think they trust him? Those are
Not
two
a matter
different
of
things.
trust. I can't even bring Blackbeard to a location. That boy will kidnap me, take the fruit out of me. Like I don't trust that.
What
man.
is the saying? How does the saying go? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what it is. It's a means to an end in that situation, especially if, let's say, if Luffy and Shanks team up, what is the world government gonna do? They're afraid to fight Shanks by himself when he pulled up. Now you got Shanks and Luffy? Come on, bro. They're gonna have to get another heavy hitter to help them out.
When it comes to the beautifully crafted universe of One Piece and the geniusly ruthless world of Demon Slayer, they share a whole lot in common, but the one thing that stands out the most is the level of danger. See, on the first hand, you have One Piece, a world full of bloodthirsty pirates who show no mercy when they cross paths with civilians. And in that same universe, you'll find people with extraordinary abilities that could leave you frozen, burned to a crisp, or in some cases, even worse. And in the other hand, you have the Demon Slayer universe, where on any given night, a demon could crawl into your home and send you and your family into the afterlife. And your only protection is a handful of people who might not even be in your town. And to make the situation even worse, they might turn you into a demon, which could lead to you being hunted down by the same people that were supposed to protect you. So I have to ask the question,
which would be the worst anime universe to live in? One Piece or the Demon Slayer universe?
To me, this is not even a question. Demon Slayer universe. You gotta think about this, but first of all, most of these people just are dying. Like, they don't even know that these demons are around. They've never seen them. You just get randomly attacked and then eaten in most cases. If you survive, you probably turn into a demon. There's a very slim chance that you become a demon slayer. And then even if you become a demon slayer, the test is you gotta fight demons. And you might die. I don't see the benefit in any of these situations. Like, it's slim to none that you even be, you know what I'm saying, successful. In One Piece universe, I can be a pirate, I can be a buggy, you know what I'm saying, just chill out, you know what I'm saying, dominate my little area, and I'll be cool.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. One Piece is probably the worst. Demon Slayer, I could live in a town and probably never bump into a demon. One Piece, you could live in a town and be like, okay, I'm not gonna bump into no pirate. Oppressive government. They're working y'all to death. Life is hard. You're like, oh my God, I want out. Let's say you're born a fishman. I'm a slave. This world is so horrible. Now let's just say you get lucky and you eat a devil fruit like he said, you Buggy the Clown. some dude, let's say you got a really nice power. Some dude named Blackbeard is rolling around town looking to beat you up, take your power, and discard your body into a bush somewhere. He did it to his best friend, he'll do it to you. That is a horrible universe to live in.
Listen, I can be a pirate and just steal treasure, you know what I'm saying? Keep out of the way, you know what I'm saying? In most cases, look at Luffy's town. They don't get attacked that much, you know what I'm saying?
That much.
Hopefully, you know what I'm saying?
Shanks hanging around.
Hopefully Whitebeard or Shanks put their flag on me and I'm Gucci. Now I'm straight. Now I can live.
This man
Hopefully they don't die, you know what I'm saying? Anytime soon I can chill.
This man is ignoring the fact that mountain bandits used to come down and ravage the bar. I can't even drink at the bar. Mountain bandits done came down. I'm like, man, I'm moving to the other town. There's a nice guy. He's a butler. He hangs out with a girl. That should be a safe place for me to live. No, he turns out he's a pirate too. There's nowhere to save.
In Demon Slayer, there's demons that have been living for hundreds of years. They've eaten thousands upon thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people.
Maybe.
You don't know. Listen, these boys travel around. One dude's walking around with legs of humans on his back. Come on, man. Look, this is not what you want.
Think about this. If Luffy comes to save you, he is most likely going to save you. A Hashira comes to save you, he gets killed, eaten, you get killed too.
Exactly. That's the person you originally. At least there are some good pirates. You got Whitebeard. You got Shanks. You got some guys that are actually good people. Now don't get me wrong. You might get a warlord that, you know what I'm saying, wants to take over your town.
Little Mihawk.
You know what I'm saying? You might get a Mihawk, but he might be chill. He might be Mihawk. You might get Crocodile, you might get Mihawk. You might get Doflamingo, you might get Bartholomew Kuma.
Doflamingo. This man had a whole city under control with strings. Can you imagine you just living your life, next thing you know, string pop into the back of your head, next thing you know, you freaking hurting other people for no reason. And he's a psychopath. One Piece is full of psychopaths.
I don't want to get on a train and then all of a sudden the train comes alive and I'm stuck in there when they got me touching people, making them put them to sleep. It's not where it's at. These demons come from everywhere. And you gotta think about it. We're not even talking about the upper ranks and stuff like that. We're talking about regular demons. This regular demons just coming out and attacking you,
But there's only so many of them. It's not like demons are just everywhere. That's what I'm saying. It's just you can live in the sword besides when they attack us.
Yeah. The people who made the swords got attacked and almost got murdered, okay? It doesn't work.
I'm just saying
it doesn't work.
For a while they were Gucci. You can live somewhere where nobody attacks you.
And now
I can't think of one place in One Piece where somebody didn't try to oppress you, somebody didn't beat you up, somebody didn't eat some damn fruit that caused some other person to come looking for them. Just think about it. If you're born, let's say you're born normal. Let's say you're born in a town where nothing's gonna happen to you. Then your brother turns out to be some top-notch pirate. You're in trouble again. Everybody puts you in trouble.
Listen, your only saving grace would be sunlight, and now they got demons that are walking in the sunlight. Or at least in the morning time, I'm not gonna get attacked. Now there's demons out here walking in the morning time. What are you gonna do? So again, like I said, you are in a bad way. You're in a bad shape. There's nothing you can do. Especially sometimes they don't kill you immediately. They keep you around. They use you for bait. They do all kinds of crazy stuff. No, you better hope you didn't. Your grandfather didn't terrorize this demon when it was 5, because they're gonna come back to your town and terrorize your town for the next 100 years.
The one thing I will say is this, right? When it comes to One Piece, you at least have the ability to get stronger somehow. Maybe you'll join the Marines and get stronger. Maybe you'll eat a devil fruit and get stronger. Maybe you'll do something that'll cause, or maybe you'll be hanging around somebody with strong hockey. Maybe you it rubs off a little on you. Demon Slayer, I'm not gonna lie, you're not gonna be a Hashira, bro. There's only a handful of them, and they don't survive. So I don't even see the point of ever doing that. Also,
listen, you're making my point for me.
I'm just saying, that's the one thing I'll give it.
It's making my point for me because again, at least in One Piece, like I said, I could be alone. I could ride on somebody's ship, and we just pirate, you know what I'm saying? Chill out for a little bit.
You know how many ships got knocked off though?
Yes.
Zoro chopped a ship in half because he got on the wrong ship. I didn't ask him to get on my ship. I didn't tell him, hey, come join my crew. This man went, oh man, it's the wrong ship. Cut my dreams in half. My dreams in half.
Listen, man, I understand. You got don't get me wrong. One Piece world is pretty bad. You got celestial dragons that might come down and enslave you and shoot you for no reason. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got warlords that are doing craziness. But this is the thing is, there's so many islands. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm chilling in Logtown, I'm good, bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? If I'm in
one almost safe place.
If I'm in Log, I got
Logtown.
smoker with me, we good. We chilling, all right? You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I'm born as a celestial dragon and I'm chilling, all right? There's certain areas, certain
You
spots.
could be born as a celestial dragon, and your parents might want to live with a commoner.
Oh no, man, I'm not going. I'm sorry, and I'm not going. But again, there's like safe spots. In Demon Slayer, I don't see any safe spot.
But the demons don't attack every town.
Here's the
Like
thing.
like the brother and sister, they chilled in the district. I'm not going to no districts, bro.
You don't know. You don't know.
Man,
Remember, they were a myth. People just get snatched up. They didn't know what's going on.
People go missing in this town. Why would I go? Why would I go hang out? Because there's babies over there. You know what I'm saying? Just because there's some long legs. Come on, I'm not even going there, bro.
Come on,
I hear
man.
people go missing, bro. I don't go.
I
don't go to the south side of Chicago.
I thought the Swordsmith Village was safe. They had people having whole different ways to get there. You can't. Yeah, they cover your eyes, your nose. They got like 6 people carrying you, craziness, and they still found the boys. You can't,
Nah, somebody must have snitched.
Nah,
I don't read, so I don't know how they found it.
Come
like
on,
that.
bro.
Somebody must have snitched. They must have got a little info. But some people there grew old. They had families, passed away. Pass down their sword technique to the next generation.
Listen, and there's certain people in Logtown.
Why does man keep bringing up Logtown?
In certain towns, that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Wano was shut down. You know, hopefully
Wano was horrible.
Hopefully you don't get a Kaido. Now, mind you, before Kaido was there, they were good. They were prosperous for a while. Okay.
They were good for like 3 months, man.
Nah,
Kaido
stop.
showed up,
Stop.
started terrorizing everybody.
At the end of the day, bro, like I said,
Wait, no. Pre-Kaido, they were still mistreating what's his name's clan. Remember how he got angry? I forgot his name.
oh yeah, well, but
So they were
listen.
mistreating each other. So I wasn't even good there. My clan was mistreated to the point I'm like, oh, I can't wait till this boy Kaido show up. I'm gonna get you for this. Like, that's how I became. Nah, that's not a safe place to live.
But
man.
check this, man.
I think I felt like I could survive the Demon Slayer universe.
What do y'all rather have, guys? Would you rather be, maybe shot, maybe quake and sink into the sea, or be eaten alive, dog? They're eating you. Like, why would I want to be eaten alive? All right, listen.
Most of the time they get you done with fast though. Man.
Oh, no, no.
I seen it. They
The base do have people out here strangled up, stabbing them and blood squirting. Come on, bro.
Okay, some of them are sadistic. I'm not gonna say some of them are not
Come on,
sadistic.
man.
I'm just saying that at least it might be over with quick. I'm not gonna be mad at
Like I said, if I had to choose, I got a better chance of finding one of these hundreds of devil fruits. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it's a
That's a
low
rare
top.
feat. It's
Hey,
a
listen,
rare feat to get
if
devil.
Bucky could do it, I got a good chance. You know what I'm saying? But with these
You gonna have
Demon
to
Slayers,
do like pull a Blackbeard. You see a friend of yours. Oh my God, I found this. You might have to.
I gotta survive. I gotta survive. Survive.
Hero Academia had one of the hottest starts in anime, and it had almost everything we were looking for in a new series. From well-written characters, a beautiful power scale, to crisp, fluid animation. But there seems to be a shift in what the average anime fan is watching, which to me seems like a darker tone. And this may be affecting the perception of My Hero. So we have to ask the question,
Is My Hero Academia still part of the big three?
This is a tough question for me because I really like My Hero Academia, but it's lost a lot of its luster. You know what I'm saying? Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, they've been dominating, you know what I'm saying?
That is true.
You got Chainsaw Man, you know what I'm saying, that's doing his thing. And for me, it's like, it's still good. It's still very good anime.
Still very good anime.
But like, I don't know, like I said, I don't know why, but it's you know what I'm saying, it's just losing some of its luster for me.
Personally, I believe that the big three now is One Piece, JJK, obviously Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer. They've taken a particular position in the fandom. People love those series. And I think it's because they're slightly darker, and they started that way at first. So people, I don't know, it seems like everybody's moving towards that darker theme. Even though I feel like My Hero is trying to do that currently, it's not coming off authentic like the other ones.
I'm not gonna lie, that can't be the big three. Because One Piece, it's like One Piece, and obviously I got a video talking about this. One Piece is like the Jay-Z. One Piece is, you can't compare it to these other ones because one has been running way longer than.
It has been running longer.
Two, yes, it's still dominating, but like we don't compare Jay-Z to Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick.
Correct,
you know what I'm saying?
correct.
You can't do that because again, he's been dominant for so long. Now, you know what I'm saying? That's why like obviously usually a big three, when people say big three, or the new big three as they call it, is JJK, Demon Slayer, and My Hero. Now, just like, Bleach was kind of the third lagger or whatever between, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, My Hero is the lagger now. You know what I'm saying? At first, like I said, when it first started, My Hero was leading the charge.
Oh, it was on fire.
Everybody was on My Hero. But then I don't know if it's because the, you know what I'm saying, him getting darker. I don't know what it was. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, the breaks were too long.
I could tell you exactly when it started. To me, it started the moment they slacked on the animation. What was it, season 2 or season 3, where they were working on that first movie, and they used their animation team for the movie and kind of did this thing where we had these still images instead of animation. What's his name that could move through objects?
Wasn't it? Not Mirko. I can't think of his name. The Power Dude. I can't remember his name. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, like that, and you're probably right. That's probably what lost his.
A lot of people were angry about that. I remember that because in the manga it looked so amazing. But then when you watch the fight animated, it could have just been the manga. It was still pictures moving slowly, and you were supposed to just, I guess, imagine that this fight is amazing, I guess. And
that's what really bothers me is that they took on too much. You can't do that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I respect about Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer is the, you know what I'm saying, benchmark or how you should do a movie and a TV show. Because they will do, okay, if it's a small arc, we're gonna do a movie of this. And then they will, you know what I'm saying, obviously they'll put it on Crunchyroll and then do the season. You can't do both at the same time. You can't, you know what I'm saying, divide your workforce like that. And obviously one of the parts gonna suffer. I think it would have been better if the movie suffered because not a lot of people watch the movie as much as the series. So to let the series suffer, which more people watch, makes no sense. And like you said, they took a big hit. You know what I'm saying? JJK obviously took over. You got freaking Demon Slayer killing it. And like Chainsaw Man, as great as it is, it's taking up the third spot for me. I think Chainsaw Man.
As weird as that is, I think Spy Family is.
Listen.
I think Spy Family. Spy Family is taking the third spot, or you could say Attack on Titan, even though it's ended.
That's the thing too. Like I like Spy Family. I like Attack on Titan. But
the popularity of Spy Family is
popularity of Spy Family is crazy. But again, it's not if you watch Spy Family like I do, it's more of a, slice of life. There's some fighting, but you can't compare it to shonen like, you know what I'm saying?
I know, you can't, but
you know what I'm saying? So
I'm talking about popularity wise.
Popularity wise, you definitely, Spy Family has a huge fan base. Same thing with obviously Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
But again, even with Attack on Titan, you can't really put it in the same category because it was, there's certain anime I feel like they were between the two realms. If you want to look at, you know what I'm saying, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach is the old guard, you know what I'm saying, and JJK, My Hero, and Demon Slayer is a new guard. Attack on Titan was right in the middle of that. You know what I'm saying? It has its own little time, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously it's already over. So for me, it's like, and like I said, I think I still really read the manga of My Hero. I still like it, but to be honest with you, it's just like, it lost a lot of its luster. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, animes gotta be careful of.
I truly believe that they're very aware of that, and they're going to try to make up for that in this upcoming season. I've seen clips and things like that, and I was like, man, this animation looks top tier. It looks like they're gonna pull out all the punches, but I felt like they pulled like almost all the punches last season. I saw the animation work. I was like, this looks really good.
The
story's great.
What's coming up next is finna be fire. Obviously, I know what's gonna happen. But to be honest with you, I want to talk about the anime that gets slept on, and one of my favorites. Is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? The fading, the story. Stop sleeping on this anime. I know most y'all don't got high dive, and that's another topic for another day. That all these new people are getting into the anime space, and now we gotta have like 6 different downloading websites, whatever, to watch anime. But Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon is a slept on anime.
I'll admit I haven't started watching.
I'm telling you, very good anime. You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, people don't really consider it like JJK or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's as dark. You know what I'm saying? Well, there's some dark parts, but it's nowhere near as dark as JJK. JJK and Demon Slayer, they're on a whole nother level. And I think, like
grotesquely dark.
Yeah, I think a lot of anime are leaning that way. But and that's the thing too. There might be some, because I'm hearing of some new anime or manga that are about to get turned into anime that a lot of people are excited about. Yeah. And that's what's hard about My Hero, because you got a whole new group coming in that
competition.
That people are saying are heavy hitters.
And like you alluded to earlier about the Demon Slayer having the perfect way to put out an anime movie and a show by making it, make sure it's canon. Not something that you just made up, essentially.
Exactly.
Their blueprint,
kept on doing.
I saw some people online complaining about it now because everybody has to go to theaters to see a movie. But I don't mind that. I don't mind that you can condense the story in that fashion and put it out and then have it on your streaming service for me to watch. That blueprint, to me, should be followed by everybody, because trust me, I don't want to go to theaters and see a story that has nothing to do with the actual anime or manga. So,
like, I wouldn't even be mad if they did like this. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Demon Slayer did a great job. But I wouldn't even be mad if, like, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, for instance, right? Oda's doing the one-shot manga Monsters. Yeah. If they made that into a movie, that would be fine.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
It would be like
isn't it a movie?
I don't know if it's gonna be a movie. I thought it was gonna be a show. But either way, you make that into a movie, it's a one-shot manga, boom. You know what I'm saying? A story about one character, that would be perfect. But like I said, with My Hero, and I think My Hero, to be honest with you, what got to them is the greed.
The greed was ridiculous.
They started pumping out movies left and right, bro. They were pumping these things out. And like I said, none of them were canon. None of them really matter now. Like, people don't go back and watch it because it doesn't, impact the story.
It doesn't have that rewatch value.
Exactly.
So it's like, keeps watching it over and over. It doesn't have that.
Don't get me wrong, it was an experience, but it's not, you need it. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I like about Demon Slayer, I can go watch the Mugen Train arc every time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you can.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can.
And it still sends chills down your spine every time they do it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And My Hero had those moments. I'm not saying My Hero didn't have that. When I saw All Might carrying the people in with the "I'm here now," like, I was like, oh man, chills. When what's his name learned how to do his fire and ice at the same time. Toriko. When he learned how to do the fire and ice, and they were doing the battle arena, and he lifted his head, like the animation and the way he was talking, the way his father lighting up and having the flame come, it was just beautiful. You had all those moments. You had the element. You have the characters. You have the story. You have the power scaling correct, and somehow you're fumbling it. That's what's weird to me.
It's not fumbling it. What the problem is you can't have lulls because there's so many good shows. That's the thing. Like, and that's why I actually like anime, because there's, like, if you watch regular TV, you don't have that many great shows. Like, you have a few, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their seasons, whatever. But in anime, literally, bro, every winter, or every spring, they got like 5 or 6 shows coming out, and all of them are fire. Yeah. So like it's very easy.
Competition.
It's very easy for somebody to be like, okay, this is not that great, I'm gonna watch this one, and then you forget about it. Especially like something that happens a lot, and obviously my anime fans know about it. When anime, you know what I'm saying, takes a break, like Classroom of the Elite, very good anime. It took like 4 or 5 years off, bro. People forget about you, bro. It's over.
Yeah, y'all gotta stop the 4 or 5 year break.
But it happens. So for me, it's like
be a whole decade later just to hear the other arc.
And then you try to get people to go rewatch the old stuff to get like, nah, bro. So you gotta be like, it's like you said, it's fierce competition, and you gotta be on your A game all the time. You slip up. Dragon Ball Z slipped over the animation. What happened? People came in there. You know what I'm saying? So you cannot slip up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it comes down to.
After decades of phenomenal storytelling and groundbreaking visuals, One Piece is being reanimated by Wit Studio, which is the team behind Spy Family, Attack on Titan, and Vinland Saga. And they will be covering the East Blue Saga. And for us fans, we already know everything that went down, so we have to ask the question.
What are your expectations for the new One Piece anime?
My expectations are what One Piece expectations are. It's One Piece. It's gonna be amazing.
Of course.
Wit Studio is a very good studio. Obviously I think they did the first season of Vinland Saga. They did a bunch
Correct. Vinland Saga, they did Attack on Titan.
So like, obviously we understand that they're a pretty good studio. So I'm not worried about, the drawings or anything like that. I think they're gonna be better. But for me, like I said, it's gonna look different. So everybody who
definitely different styles.
Yeah, it's different.
It's not gonna look the same.
It's not gonna look the same. So I have no problem with that. Because obviously, for some people they can't watch the old One Piece. I can watch One Piece straight through all over again anytime I want. You know what I'm saying? To me, I never had a problem with the drawing style, but I know a lot of people who start One Piece, especially in this day and age, have a problem with the way One Piece used to look. So for them, I
liked it. It was a quirky look.
Yeah, I have no problem with it, but I also think it's because we grew up in a different generation. Like DBZ back then and DBZ now is totally different.
Correct.
So for me, we was able to watch dudes that were bulky, had swirls in their arms, all kinds of, whole dragon, purple, pink dragons and stuff. So to us, and that's the same thing with pacing. For me, I never had a problem with the One Piece pacing. You know what I'm saying?
No problem at all with the pacing, but I know the pacing's
a lot of people had a problem with the pacing.
Yeah, because they expect everything fast now, lightning speed pacing. And I could say that's one thing that's an expectation. I know they're going to do it because they say they're updating it for a new generation. Mm-hmm. So I expect the pacing to be faster. I don't know how you're going to make it faster. Or are we going to condense 3 episodes into one now?
I think that might, because again, if you think about it, they might just cut out a lot of the talking that is unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think any of it's unnecessary.
I don't think it's unnecessary, but what I'm saying is Because if you know most animes now, they don't really like have a lot of dialogue or drawn out dialogue. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not really a build up to fights.
But
it's like, I feel like, for example, Demon Slayer, I think it'd be like, usually every season now it'd be like 1 or 2 episodes of talking, and then just like 10 episodes of just fake.
I wouldn't like that, because I think that's Oda's bread and butter.
It is.
Of having conversations, building that character up to where you become fond of the character, and then something happens.
Yeah.
That makes me more attached to it. That's what drew me into the series to begin with. So I don't think they're gonna change that. I know that they're covering the East Blue Saga. So we're going to get him getting Nami, Zoro, Usopp. I believe that should be it. It's around 53 episodes if you take out the last 8 episodes, which is like fillers.
So if they're doing the East Blue Saga, they're getting Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji.
Yeah, Sanji.
And then going to basically putting their foot on the barrel and saying we're going to the Grand Line.
Correct. So that's what they plan on doing. They say, I'm assuming if it goes very well, they're gonna continue it. But we're talking about 53 episodes from beginning to end of where in that saga. So how are we gonna condense it?
They're gonna condense it to at least half. I bet you it'll be like 25 episodes.
Yeah, like they traditionally do when we get the two cores on a season. 25 episodes. Yeah.
But think about it. Think about how many fights are in that time period. You had obviously the Captain Morgan fight.
Correct.
You had the Kuro Pirates fight. You had
Dawn Creek fight.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You had the Arlong fight. So those are 4 major battles that had build up to them. They might cut out Johnny. They might cut out and if you think about it, they even had that video fight, but that video fight might be condensed, you know what I'm saying? Obviously with the Kobe and all
Correct, that didn't have to be that long.
Exactly. So, and like I said, they might cut out some characters that don't have a long-standing recurrence. Like the bounty hunters that were cool with Zoro, Johnny, and I forgot the other guy.
Yeah.
They might cut them out or
I can't cut them out.
Make their parts way shorter than they actually
Probably
is.
shorter, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's probably why I think because like I said, if you look at all the animes now, they don't really have that much dialogue. And even when they do have dialogue, or they might do this. They might put dialogue during battles. So like dialogues that were necessarily like them just standing around talking, they might have more action in that scene while they're talking. You know what I'm saying?
So do you think they're going to add more of the fighting, if you will? Expand on the fights that they had? Like let's say Arlong's battle. Will they add more elements to that fight to drag out the fight a little more and give you a more, if you will, cinematic look like people are used to nowadays when you see big battles in JJK, big battles in Demon Slayer, big battles in Attack on Titan. Those are some really drawn out cinematic battles. I mean, at the time when we were watching it, those were some pretty big fights.
They were good fights. But like, I'm gonna give you a perfect example, right? Arlong fight. Remember when he was fighting Arlong and he went into Nami's room and they was talking about, the charts and what Nami's doing, and then Luffy started punching the room and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That scene, they might massively condense. Instead of, he might be fighting, they might be, fighting, he might be hitting stuff while they're talking about what this room is. You know what I'm saying? Instead of having him stop and explain what the room is and then have Luffy do that, they might just be like, okay, why won't we do this simultaneously? You know what I'm saying? That way, it like shortens the span of the show. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people feel like there's a lot of dead air or there's a lot of them just talking to explain things or to do things when they could be doing other things as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that might be the best way to pace it up is by having things happen more simultaneously that you can, you know what I'm saying, kind of play around with. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you won't have to cut out anything, you're just making things, you kind of smushing things together in that sense.
I do expect them to change the sound effects. The sound design was slightly different. People don't remember this, but Luffy, when Luffy used to pull his arm back, it used to be more like a boing sound.
Yes.
And now it's become like a whip, almost like pulling back. So I expect the sound design to be a lot different.
Definitely.
But I want to know, are we going to keep the soundtrack?
They're not going to change the soundtrack. There's certain things that I think they cannot do. Like, I'm going to tell you the scenes they're not going to take out or really alter at all. Him putting the hat on Nami, they're not touching that.
Not touching.
They're, you know what I'm saying, most of the goodbyes, like Sanji saying goodbye to Red Zeph and all, they're not touching that.
Yeah.
They're not touching the Mihawk Zoro fight.
Of course
they're not. Like, there's certain things.
No, the Mihawk Zoro fight might be a little longer.
What I'm saying is like, I forgot that that's another fight that we didn't even talk about. But they're not gonna condense that fight. They might expand that fight it might be more different, you know what I'm saying, more things they add in, but like they're not gonna like cut out that.
Yeah.
Even with the like, I'll give you another example, the buggy fight. You know what I'm saying? That buggy fight was kind of drawn out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They took time to show him his face as a shadowy figure and all that stuff.
It expanded like 2 episodes.
Yeah, they're gonna cut all that stuff. When you know, say you don't see him really, he's just a shadowy figure talking. They're gonna be like, hey, this is Buggy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna, all that stuff is gonna change. So
this is Buggy.
Yeah, like so it's like they're not gonna do certain things because you don't really need to do that in this day and age, especially because back then I feel like people have like larger attention spans, so they'll be willing to put up with it. In this day and age, they're not. They're not going for that. You gotta catch them pretty early.
Now, would you be surprised if they did a skin tone change? Because remember, there was issues with the original animation where they were like, this person's skin tone was supposed to be this, and then later it was changed. Because remember, the controversy is always Usopp.
Yeah.
Usopp's dad. It's always the controversy.
I definitely think they're gonna do that. But to me, it's like I don't have a problem with it because if it's
I have no issue.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying, like
whatever his intentions are, I follow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even mind if they made more characters look like, because we understand that One Piece is based off of the actual world. Like, you know,
geographical spots. Brazil, Africa,
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think Russia, Sweden.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? America, stuff like that. So, like, I would not have no problem, especially like, let's say Frankie, and they made him a little bit more tanner because he looks like he's from like California. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
Frankie's American. He's the American character.
You know what I'm saying? So like, or like Nico Robin, she's from Russia, so they made her like a lighter pigment. I wouldn't have any problem with that. It just makes it it's following the story even more.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah, it just makes more sense.
But the question is, Yasa.
Oh, he gotta be darker. He gotta be darker.
I noticed that the character design for him has changed so much.
Yes.
Like the first time you see him, you see like almost like a blondish, like
afro.
It wasn't even afro at the time. It was like his hair was down. I remember like a few scenes where his hair was just like down. It was like a blondish hair. Then later you see him, it's an afro. Then later you see him, he has the locks.
Yeah.
Like I see what he was doing with it, but I understand. It was the like late 90s, right?
Yeah, I think
so I know the issue with the
concept of, you know what I'm saying, you know, more black people. I think you know what I'm saying, over time they start getting more ingratiated.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is not how black people actually look. So
I remember debating people online. People were like, Usopp's not black. I'm like, Usopp is obviously a black character. Not only did he also stated that, it's like a representation of Africa, the character.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Netflix live action, he chose the people who were casted, so he casted a black guy, obviously, as Usopp, so debate is over.
The most interesting one for me was the Lucky Roo being black.
Lucky Roo? Yes.
I didn't expect that.
I feel like that was just a Netflix thing.
So you don't think he's actual black character?
I think he it's not. No, I don't think he's a black character, if you will. I don't think in his manga it is. I think it was more the fact that he chose that main cast and he cleared the main cast, and then whoever fell just fell into different places. Kind of like Nami's adopted sister. It just fell into place like that.
I think she actually is black.
She had a different. Like again, the controversy
because
with the anime. The skin pigment in the original anime, yes, her skin was darker.
Yeah.
But then like later they were like, but it's the way it was, the image was processed, and it became a whole controversy.
Yeah. So who knows?
So who knows?
But I definitely think they might change the skin pigment. I definitely think that's the case.
Yeah, I think they most likely will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am mad at that.
The last few seasons of Jujutsu Kaisen have been a battle royale masterpiece and a masterclass in storytelling, which has set the bar pretty high for other animes and has changed the artistic landscape, which is why we have to look back at some of our favorite moments.
So what has been some of your favorite moments in the last few seasons?
First, I gotta start off with the Gojo purple.
Purple?
Yeah, she's red and blue. I ain't gonna lie. That was when you really seen, like, you started seeing how strong Gojo actually is.
Yeah, I could say
and, like, you know what I'm saying? The difference between most characters. I mean, obviously he had multiple moments like that, but that's the first, like, when you seen that this man combined two gigantic fireballs or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying, into one.
He learned that after the situation with Megami's dad, right? When did he first come?
That's not the first time he did it was in season 1, but I think he learned it after that fight because technically that's a prequel or before.
Because to me that was one of the highlight moments for me because you already saw how strong he was in season 1. So then when we go into season 2 and they start off with that background story and you see Megami's dad, like hunting him down, slowly breaking him down, and you don't really know exactly what he's doing. You're just like, man, they're throwing a lot at him. But then when he finally attacks him, and we already know how strong Gojo is.
Yeah, Gojo,
all right? But to watch this man completely dominate the fight, that was impressive to me. That was one of those moments that made me go, whoa, man, maybe he's something special. Maybe Megami gonna be something special.
The reason why I like that fight so much is because they built up Gojo and how strong he was.
Yeah. Great
just to see him get dominated. Like that's like I love when shows do that where you think, man, ain't nobody gonna be able to beat this dude, and then some character comes along and Cut knows everything that you do and dominates you in every facet. And I was
it wasn't even like he had some like OP power.
It wasn't.
It's just that he made his skills, he honed his skills so much that he became very, very dangerous.
And the thing is, he was so knowledgeable about Gojo's ability and like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the reason why he was able to beat him, because he was like, you gotta tire him out. So he just kept on sending people to the point where he was able to, you know what I'm saying, wear him out, and that's how he was able to defeat him. So.
And the funny thing is, I love when he returned on, what was it, like season 2 when they ate a piece of his flesh and he took over. He was manhandling everybody.
Boy, going crazy.
When Megami got knocked out of the building and he don't know how he got knocked out of the building, they barely show you. He just spots him, and next thing you know, you're getting thrown out of the building and you're landing on your feet outside. And you're like, whoa, I don't even know how I got out here.
His dad was definitely OP, but another moment that I really enjoyed, well, just enjoying in general, is Toto. Anytime Toto shows up, bro, it's a masterpiece, dog. His ability is, to me, one of the freshest abilities out there. Especially because how many ways he can apply it and do things with it. It's just, I was like, whoever came up with the idea, amazing.
They hyped me up the first time they introduced him. First, they sort of mentioned him because the situation, they mentioned that situation in the movie. How he was one of the only people, he fought by himself and like a bunch of like it was special grades or whatever, and they showed like the quick little scene of him sitting on top of all the bodies, and I'm like, ooh, okay. And the second time you really get to see him is when he approached Megami and he was like, what type of women do you like? And he didn't give an answer that he liked, and he just took off on him. I was like, oh my god.
Total just his presence, you know what I'm saying, brother. Like everything about this dude, man. He trips me out, man. Like
I'm not gonna lie, he got me hyped with the brother thing, man. When he shows up to save him, when he's fighting Mahito, when he shows up to save him and he's just giving him the speech, and he gets to straight clapping, and even though that curse was so strong, he's like, this is disorienting. Like, even when you know it's coming, it's very disorienting, and you're piecing it together. So I could see how you wouldn't be able to just beat up somebody like that. That person is just like, he's strong. He has endurance out the yin yang. You could cause damage, obviously, hand gone, everything, and he just keeps coming at you. He's different breed.
So two of the things that obviously I love about the way he did the Black Flash, how he had, you know what I'm saying, you do it and he kind of teleported himself in that. I was like, that was OP, and obviously it was like, you think clap, I need my hands to clap, and he said, it's about the spirit and clap. I was like, oh, this man OP,
something's wrong with his head, but that's what you love about him. You're like, something's wrong with this man's head. But that's the person you want, and that's another moment in JJK throughout the seasons that I love, is the fact that this ain't no one-on-one. We're going to jump you.
Bro, it's always a jump. It's
more realistic. Listen, if you're a paranormal creature and you show up to fight me and Lou, We're jumping you.
There's no one.
There's no one. I'm not gonna be like, let me handle this. There ain't no me handle nothing. We're jumping you.
JJK is the most realistic anime ever, cuz.
Yes.
Everybody jumping. We're always gonna jump you, cuz. It's like,
remember when Nanami and Yuji jumped?
Oh,
he
he
was in front of the school? Right, his head was going left, right, left, right. I was like, hey man, they're jumping this man pretty bad.
dog, it's no more Jujutsu Kaisen. It's jump Kaisen, man. You know what I'm saying? You get all kinds of hands. I love that jump. It makes it realistic.
Yeah, it does. It makes it very realistic. The fact that they're not gonna let you go in there by yourself. Even though no matter how strong you are, most of the time they're not gonna let you go in there by yourself.
Only person I see who really going by himself is Gojo. That's
Go.
And even him, like, they jumped him. Like, come on. Like, somebody getting jumped.
Yeah, they brought him all the way down to the bottom of the
They want
subway.
to give you everything.
Bodies on top.
Humans, curses, everything. They
Jogo fighting you. Got the plant guy fighting you. Everybody's jumping him. And he was still holding his own. But that's another moment that I love about Gojo is when they showed his background when he was born. All the curses and all the demons, whatever they are, they all backed into the shadows like, oh Lord, no, like what is that? And when he was a little kid and they were looking to assassinate him, and he barely flinched, and the old lady was already like cowering in a corner.
That man hiding behind the fridge, like, I'm like, oh, this man going crazy.
That man said, hey, if y'all really want to smoke, come out of hiding. I'll fight y'all.
I ain't gonna lie, he remind me, like, I ain't gonna lie, at that time, he remind me just like Killua. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a kid, but so OP that adults don't want to fight him. Yeah. So it was crazy. But like I said, another moment that I absolutely loved was Sukuna. When Sukuna came and fought Jogo.
Yeah.
That whole fight, bro.
Animation was absolutely perfect. Mappa, I don't know, you got them working like crazy.
Whatever that slave shit y'all got over there, bro. I know it sounds wrong, but hey, bro, them boys
they did their thing.
I ain't gonna lie.
That fight was absolutely beautiful.
And he killed him with his own element, bro. I was like,
he's like, wait, I thought he uses dice. Like, man, he pulled that fire out. I was like, oh man.
I ain't gonna lie.
You don't use your own ability.
I feel bad for Jogo though. He thought, oh man, they had a whole little metric of how.
Yeah,
man,
like
maybe if you give him this many fingers, it won't be that bad. Man, you was absolutely wrong. That boy, he demolished you, bro. It was crazy.
The gap was too far. He thought he miscalculated.
He miscalculated. But
Big miscalculation.
I ain't gonna lie. And the funny thing is, like, I love the way they set up too, because they showed you how strong he was.
Yeah.
He wiped out Nanami, the frame rate guy. He not wiped out all of them. And you like, dang, cause he kept on fighting Gojo. So he thought he's not that strong. When he fought regular people, you seen this man is OP. Then they had him fight Sukuna, so you can see, okay, this is how far difference there is.
And here's another thing I loved. Sukuna's domain expansion.
Yes.
His domain expansion, and they were describing it like, it's not like anybody else's where it locks you in. You could actually just walk out of his expansion. But because it allows you the ability to escape, it's even more dangerous.
Yeah,
and it just chops up everything to like just small refined, like, that's a very dangerous ability to have. But it's huge too.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, you can get away, but how fast are you? Can you make it out of the city? Like,
that's crazy. And obviously, like, you gotta talk about the movie. Yuta, you know what I'm saying? Him and Rika, to me, that last battle, OP is all outdoors. And I ain't gonna lie, like, it was kind of cool realizing that it wasn't the girl that was the curse or whatever. Like, she didn't curse him. He actually cursed her.
Yes.
And he was kind of like splitting his ability with her. It was pretty cool. But like I said, I can't wait to see, like, a few people fight. Obviously, the Gojo fighting Sukuna and Yuta seeing, like, I can't wait for those. And obviously,
and they added some sad elements that I love too. Geto, he wasn't really that bad. He kept eating. He had to absorb all these curses, and he was like, man, this is like disgusting. And he started becoming depressed, and he started watching friends pass away, and he was just like, man, like, what's the point? To the point he started to be like, man, these monkeys. Like, he started just becoming, you would think like, man, maybe, well, Gojo looks like he's a psychopath. I'm not gonna lie to you. Gojo looked like he didn't care. But after Gojo went into his beast mode, it looked like he was ready to take people out. All right? But Geto was like, man, we should just wipe out this whole group then.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I gotta give somebody the Simp of the Year award and JJK, because it's Mekamaru, bro. You did all this just so you can walk for this girl, bro. You sabotaged the school. You helped these boys find out how to beat Gojo. And yeah, you try to redeem yourself at the end. you know, to let them know that they got the stuff. But it's because of you. Like, it was kind of messed up, you know what I'm saying, what he did. I mean, don't want the fight scene with him, Mito was dope. But like, bro, like, you're the reason. You're the problem, bro.
I felt like his plan was so horrible. Like, give me my body, and I'm gonna try to take y'all out. No,
bro,
I'm sorry.
You're not him.
Listen, your boy, you give me my body, I'm gonna use an escape technique. I'm getting out of there. I'm trying to get to this girl. What's wrong with y'all?
Bro, I'm like, bro,
I've been living in a basement my whole life in some water, basically.
I don't know how he got messed up like that. I ain't gonna lie.
He was born like that.
It's a hard not life, you know what I'm saying? But come on, bro. I get wanting to walk and all that stuff, but you want to do this for a girl, bro? You don't know if she gonna like you or not. It was crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, his fight scene was dope, at least.
Yeah,
you know
most definitely.
He definitely died, so it is what it is.
But another moment that I really love is when Yuji finally beats Mahito, and like they're in that snow, and they got the wolf like following him, but as the rabbits are trying to get away from him. I was like, the symbolism in that scene was just beautiful to me. I thought that was dope. I thought it was a very nice touch. The animation looked beautiful. I know Geto was whatever's inside of him, the weird brain creature. I know he was planning something with them, but I didn't expect him to absorb him and get a whole new ability.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I was like, man, well, I guess that takes it to another level then. It's like Geto never knew the extent of how powerful he can be. But this creature knew, your ability, I know how to refine it. There's a better way.
Definitely. Actually, another moment I love is, it is kind of messed up because I don't know why he did it, but he's also evil, so I get it. But when Sukuna was like, told everybody don't move, and it was like,
don't move,
and the meteor was coming towards it, and he was just like, y'all don't move, or I'm gonna kill all y'all. And then finally, he was like, go, and they just like disappeared. I was like, that's what it was like. I was like,
that man counting slow as hell, man.
I was like, why
frozen
you
like,
that?
Man, I got.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. He did them dirty, boy, but at least he let him get away.
But you can see, man, he's absolutely cruel. And I know there's a lot more amazing things that are about to happen in this season. have now witnessed anime's two best characters put on an epic display of strength and skill. One being Captain Law from One Piece, and the other being Todo from Jujutsu Kaisen. So we have to ask the question, in a winner-takes-all situation, who would win between Law and Todo?
That's a tough one because there's a lot of things that go into it. Is Law gonna be, like, is his room gonna be set up before the fight starts? Because let's say hypothetically speaking, you know, saying they both meet up. If Todo starts switching immediately, Law's kind of, you know, at a disadvantage. But if Law has his room set up, at, you know, say in the beginning, he can switch as well. So,
but he could create a very, very large room. So at this point, it's he could pretty much cover an island, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
He could cover an island, so no matter where you show up, the room will be ready for you when you get there.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying the room is gonna be there as soon as the fight starts?
Even if the fight's not gonna start, he doesn't need to be looking at you or be facing you for the room to happen. Okay, you switch with me. You send me something like, you know, with my back turned. Room. It's an entire island. Doesn't matter to me.
I see what you're saying. I'm leaning more Law because, like I said, the room and ability in general can do a lot more things. The switching is great, but also like he can, you know, say make his sword go through your body. He can
amputate.
He can amputate. He can do all these different things.
Correct.
I don't know enough about Totoro's ability, but now here's the interesting thing, right? And I was thinking about this too. Let's say, okay, boom, Totoro does the clap, and he sees him clap, and he, you know, saying, let's say he amputates his hands. Totoro can still do his boogie woogie without his hands.
I'm not sure if he can actually do the boogie without.
We see him do it with one hand and slap.
He actually did not flip Mojito. Mojito thought he was gonna be flipped and attack a different direction. If you rewatch it, that's what he did. And he said, oh, I guess my boogie woogie's dead or something like that. That's what he kind of says. So I'm not sure about that.
If he cannot do the, you know, say boogie woogie without his hands, there's no way he's gonna beat Law. Because Law is gonna amputate his hands and then switches it with rocks or something.
Where Toto has the advantage is Toto hand-to-hand combat is elite. So one thing Law would have to do is stay far away from him to an extent, because Law uses his sword, so you gotta appear, chop. The same way he did with Big Mom, he's going to have to do that. Now here's the thing, when he fought Big Mom, he had to toss rocks to make himself appear in different locations, because he can't switch himself out also, right? With Toto could take advantage of that, where he could see where, if he sees the rock, because he's a very high Q guy, if he sees you throwing the rocks, he kind of could predict, okay, he's going to use these rocks to appear here, so I'm going to switch out with this rock.
But there's the thing. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically speaking, he throws the rocks and he sees the rocks. You don't know which rock he's going to switch with. What if,
don't.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, literally, it's a guessing game for you. So if I throw, like, 100 rocks in the air, you know what I'm saying? I can switch with any one of those rocks.
But the purpose of the rocks is for him to be able to appear in different locations and launch an attack.
Yes.
So if you throw rocks all around me, I'm switching with a rock to put myself in a different position, because you were expecting me to be in the middle so you can keep your attack up. It's not going to work with me. I'm going to switch.
But again, this is why that makes it difficult, because, right, let's say everything speaking, right? If I throw the rocks and let's say you switch with one of the rocks, so I can't know where you're at.
Correct.
We don't know how quickly, and obviously, well, he does it pretty quickly in general. So let's say you switch here. If I switch here and I see that you're not in that spot, I'll just switch to the nearest rock near you. So it's gonna be a situation where, can you keep up your switching as much as I can keep up my switching?
Here's my thing. This is where I say Law has the advantage. The fact that he has to clap to initiate it, that takes time. Whereas in Law, it's instantaneous. His best way, his only chance of beating it, like I say, is to close the gap to where you can get close enough to go hand-to-hand combat with Law, because Law probably wouldn't be able to hold up hand-to-hand combat-wise.
Yeah.
Second, you'd have to outlast Law, because it wears him out.
It does. But here's the thing, I think Law has a benefit too. Law can extend his sword's length.
He can. That's what I'm saying. It's long distance.
So if you think about it this way, like you said, he can just stay at a very long distance.
He can.
And just, you know what I'm saying, use that sword's length to his advantage.
Correct.
So like, Toto, his whole thing is he has to switch close to him. But like I said, if you know what I'm saying, and that's the thing too. Like if he makes a room big enough as an island, I can literally switch to the other side of the island. If you know what I'm saying, and get, because
that is true. But making it the size of an island is really gonna wear him out. I really need to just stay alive long enough till he starts to dwindle and can't use room anymore.
Yeah, but again, how long and how often could Toto use Boogie Woogie? Because again, we haven't seen...
Boogie Woogie doesn't have a limit as long as he's not physically injured that way.
Again, so the mindset is this. If I'm Law, the way I'm going to... The first thing I see him do, once he claps, I'm trying to amputate his hands. Amputate his hands.
He's going to know that you're going for his hands. He is a genius level fighter.
But you got to remember this. Law, you see, we're only talking about swords. Law can literally just move things in general. Remember,
yes, he can.
He cut off his heads, body parts in general without even using his sword. So once whatever you're in that room, he can cut whatever. So
Toto has a problem with closing that distance. Like I told you, that's what he needs to do. But if he keeps swapping you out and putting you further and further away from him, every time you get close enough,
if the room is bigger,
it's instantaneous. So you can just keep pushing him away.
Let's say the room is as big as the city.
That's gonna wear him out. But if it's as big as the city, you're in trouble.
Yeah, so like,
you're in absolute trouble.
At the end of the day, like, and again, but here's the thing, right? This is something that we'll discuss. We don't know if Toto has domain expansion and how would that affect the fight? Because let's say for instance, right? Let's say his domain expansion is multiple hands. Where's a big room with just hands everywhere,
Yeah.
and he can just constantly switch.
Okay, but that's still, you still need to get close to me and have to have a hand-to-hand combat. If he gets close to Law, does Law have armament hockey?
I think he does.
I think he does. So now that's a problem too,
But here's the
because
thing.
he hits his hardest.
If I do domain expansion, you're stuck in that domain.
Yeah.
And whether his domain has automatic, I think sometimes domains
It's automatic hits.
Automatic hits. So now, like, okay, now it's a more difficult fight because if I have automatic hits, even though you switch your body, I'm gonna land a hit.
But I got a question. But then we'd have to go universe for universe. Hockey. Can I use so much hockey and negate your ability? But that only works on devil fruits.
Exactly.
So
So
we know.
my question
But
is-
we can't match the universes in that particular way. So that would be a little difficult.
So
to
my
gauge
question
out.
is this: would
if
Conqueror
it
Hockey be
could-
able to break this domain?
That's what I'm saying. If it could, then yeah, then you'd have a problem again.
See, my question is this: we have to be fair in that aspect because, like you
Yeah,
said,
I'm gonna be fair with
because
that.
we don't know if Toto has domain expansion, but we're saying
Correct.
we're just pontificating and seeing if he had domain expansion, it would be better for him. But if we're gonna do that, we have to assume that Tropical Law has Conquer Hockey, and that would be able to affect his situation.
Well, okay, let's say this. Let's say Toto brings along one person with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can he beat Law's crew with one extra person? It can't be Gojo. It has to be somebody that's
Okay.
on the same
All
level.
right,
so
so
we could give him Yuji.
That's the thing is, okay, Law's crew is so trash. Like, not to be mean, but like his crew is trash. You gotta give me.
I like Law's crew. I fell in love with Law's crew.
You gotta do either Law and Kid and Yuji and what you call it.
Well, here's my thing. Even if we're talking Yuji
And Toto, Law and Kid.
Law could essentially push him away. I wonder if Boogie Woogie works where he has to see you. Like he has to be in visual distance of you. Can like, if somebody's on the other side of an island, can he clap his fingers and bring you there?
That's the question. I think he don't have to see, because when they were fighting, those times where they were separated, he still switched them.
Oh, yeah, then.
But here's the thing, right? If you bring Kid into the situation,
Yeah.
magnetism will be a problem. Magnetism will be a problem. Let's say they're
Oh.
what I'm saying, let's say they're in the city, right?
Yeah, only in a city situation.
Mind you, he has laser beams he can shoot. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He can control metal.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, outside of Yuji's physical ability, what can Yuji do besides backflash?
Well, when it comes to Kid's ability to build that giant like thing around him, nobody's breaking through that. You're pretty powerful, but you're not breaking through that. And once you do break through that, he's not a slouch. He's gonna fight you.
He's gonna fight you, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that why I can't do. It's not fair if you do, because Beppo is not nowhere near as strong as Yuji in my opinion.
Yeah.
And especially Yuji is the main character. You can't give him a main character and you get this dude.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's two main characters against one.
Well, like one main character. So I would have to, like I said, actually, we should do it like this. Instead of Kid, it should be Luffy. But again,
then it's over.
It definitely wins. So, but
If Luffy jumps in there, it's a wrap.
He's a fighter as well.
It is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Luffy's a fighter as well. Whereas Kid is more magnetism. But I said,
it's the fact that in the JJK universe, nobody has the ability to hurt Luffy. Because remember, it takes a special type of attack to hurt his rubber body.
Yeah.
So everybody's done
if you just
for.
Gear 5, then it becomes
Then it becomes ridiculous. Like everything around you.
like when he starts grabbing lightning.
Yeah, he's grabbing lightning out of the sky and tossing it down at you. Then it's like, alright, man.
Crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I said, I think Law got it. You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be a good fight to watch.
Yeah.
But I just think Law with his extending the sword, you know what I'm saying?
His instantaneous movement.
And then we didn't even talk about, like, you know what I'm saying, if he gets close enough to stab Toto in the chest, he can do, what's that? I forgot what the movie's called when he did the Big Mom, but, you know what I'm saying?
What is Willie?
Yes, something Willie.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, so I just see, like...
Me too, I have to agree.
I gotta give
Law would win.
I get Law.
So,
but, you know,
that's the way we feel.
It's some fight.
last few seasons of One Punch Man have been hilarious and packed with epic fight scenes, which has left us scratching for more and wondering where this story will end up. So it's only right we take a look at some of the phenomenal things that went down.
So what are your favorite moments in the last couple seasons?
For me, I have a few. I'm not gonna lie. One of the most iconic scenes is Saitama fighting Genos.
Oh yeah, that's a good fight.
Just because, like, you know what I'm saying, the whole time Genos is going ham. This man's going crazy.
Displaying all his
You know what
power.
I'm saying? Doing everything he possibly can. And then he gets frustrated. He's like, Master, I told you, take this seriously. Boy, Saitama came behind this man. That face is like a crater. Man, look like he about to end this man's life.
That is a display to let you know his intent.
Dog, that
when he
jump
puts
was
intent
crazy.
behind all the big punches in the series, it looks like your life is over. Like
Dog.
you looked at it and said, "Damn, this man was not gonna make it at all." And he understood, because I believe after that he never tries to fight him again.
No.
He's like, no, this is dangerous.
Because here's the thing, right? Even when he punched, he didn't actually connect. He started from him, but then he had a crater. Like, dog, the size of the crater was crazy. So it's just like, dog, it just shows how strong this man is. Even if he doesn't connect, his wind can create a crater like that. So to me, like, that's obviously one of the best moments.
One of my favorites is actually a dream sequence. I think it's episode 1 or 2 in the beginning of the series where he starts to fight the underground people.
Yeah,
the subterranean. And I'm watching it, and I remember the first time I saw it, I thought like, oh man, he finally found somebody that, can match, could, stick with him. And he's putting on a show, and you saw him actually trying and struggling. I love that, because in the series, you don't get to see him struggle anymore. And that's the moment that he dreams about. That's what he wants to recreate. So that particular scene to me, plus the animation was top tier. He was flipping over people, dropping people, knocking people into the ground. Like, that was beautiful. That's one of the scenes I can't forget.
Another one of my favorite scenes. And it's because, like, I love, like, bravery. I love things where it's like, you may not be able to win, but the attempt is amazing. Moomin Rider,
I
dog.
love Moomin Rider.
Moomin Rider is one of the greatest characters in anime history, bro. This man is so unstrong. This man is so weak.
Yes.
But he is about that action. Moomin Rider never backs down, okay? That man, when he was fighting the Sea King, that boy, he rode up bicycle of death. I mean, what I'm saying? Justice, man. No, I love this dude, dog.
Moomin Rider makes me think about how I would be if I in that universe.
Of course.
Because you have no power, you have nothing, right? But everything, the fact that he named every attack, like when he stands up on his bike and speeds himself up.
Yeah,
the fact that all your main attacks require you to throw your bike at whatever villain you're fighting. I love it, man. I love the character.
And you know what I love about Moomin Rider?
And he's not even the lowest ranked.
He's not. He's like a C rank.
Yeah, I think he's the very top.
Of
He's the top of the C rank with no power.
But C rank is, they just kind of help people out. So that's
but some of them have powers. It's just he does it.
Yeah.
Like,
but what I love about Moomin Rider too, and that scene was the chants from the crowd. You can do it, Moomin Rider. They're like, hey, you can do this. Defend us. And that boy,
he powered up.
It got green. I love that. I love that scene. Because again, like, it just is what it is. You're not as strong. You're not as powerful. You know what I'm saying? And as much heart as you have, it's not gonna make a difference in certain situations. But what I love is that bravery is not, just being strong. It's knowing that you might lose this fight, but still fighting anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love Moomin Rider.
I love the fight between Silver Fang, his brother, and Garou.
Oh yeah.
That fight to me was absolutely impressive. Now, Garou was already hurt, right? And just the way they were fighting made it look like something that they could have had their own anime, because they were straight. The brothers were putting some moves on him, and I love their fighting style, and I love the development that you're seeing as he's getting stronger and stronger.
Yeah.
But during that fight, it looked like, hey man, if you don't get out of here, they're gonna finish you off.
I'm not gonna lie, man. My favorite Garou moment is tough. It's between two. The first one when he fought Tank Top Master.
Yeah, Tank Top Master.
And when he, because the Tank Top Master thing, like, he was fading whatever, but he wasn't using his martial arts. When he's not using that martial arts, he went crazy on Tank Top Master. There's that scene, and when all the A-class, heroes they didn't get any S-Class to fight her.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're not calling any S-Classes to come help us.
The way he dismantled them, bro, was crazy. And
while protecting the kid.
Yes.
Like, people forget that. He was protecting the kid the whole time.
The whole time.
If his back was into the wall with this kid, he would have done some extra stuff on them.
Plus, what's crazy is, like, you know what I'm saying, he was so dynamic, and the reason why he was so dynamic is because that hero almanac kind of taught us about the heroes, and he knew their weaknesses. Like Stinger, he got him, you know what I'm saying, he goaded him into attacking, and that's how he was able to take out this. He was cerebral, as well as, you know, as strong as he was very cerebral in the way he took everybody out, and I loved it.
If he knows your move, he knows what you're gonna do. He did that with the guy who shoots the
what's his name? Golden Bullet, I think it was.
Yeah, like he beat him and the dude with the kind of like fencing.
I forgot his name, but yeah.
He beat them because he knew their special attacks. The moment he knows your special attacks, you're pretty much done for. And I love that he just keeps learning. So he just kept learning more and more and more. And he's like, I could beat them.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you another scene I love. I forgot his name, but he was like the head martial arts dude, whatever, and he had to fight Goketsu. The head martial arts dude that turned to a demon. Okay. And he didn't really believe in heroes. You know what I'm saying? Boy, that boy would have get greasy. Please, hero, save me. I was like, that joke killed me.
That was a gruesome scene because they were stomping him.
Bro, he deserved it.
I don't feel like he deserved that. That was a little much.
He was respecting heroes the whole time. When he fought the snake dude, when he fought Lightning Max, he was just sizing the boys on like, you know, you guys are too serious. He making fun of him. Now you need to hear, please. And then Saitama came.
Is there a hero out there?
That man, he went to screaming for his life.
I'm not gonna lie, I would too. The way they were beating and they're stomping on your legs, your back. I would have been like, help me.
That man with the scream, is there a hero? I was like, this is sick, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know, it's just me, but I'm a little too powerful, bro. If I'm out here bashing heroes the whole time and I'm about to die, I can't be out here screaming for heroes' help.
I'm not gonna lie. No, you gotta be like that, man. It got so bad because you train for so long, you're so strong, and then they just come out there, they stomping on you.
That man breaking arms.
I'm using every special attack I got on you, and you just eating it. I would have said, no, help me.
This man's sick, but Saitama came in and handled business, bro. But like I said, that scene, and again, it's what I love about it is, you know what I'm saying, about One Piece and One Punch Man in general, is Saitama, it just shows him all the time that he's a true hero. He doesn't do it for accolades. He doesn't do it for money. He doesn't do it for what even the fans think or, you know what I'm saying, the public. He does it because he wants to do it, and he really believes that's what a hero should be. A hero should be there to protect people because he wants to protect people and not for all the ancillary things. And that's why I think the whole show is about him being a true hero, unlike everybody else.
What I love about it is the fact that the side characters are phenomenal. No matter how weak or how strong the side characters are, they just impress me in almost every single fight. When the Sea King first appeared, and you had all the lower level like heroes fighting him one by one by one, or fighting his army one by one, it was just impressive. Everybody showed out. I mean, don't get me wrong. One of the highlights was Jenna showing up to fight him.
Yeah.
That was a pretty big fight. That was animated to a T.
But again, even with that fight, what I love about Saitama is he's seen that everybody, like, I ain't gonna lie, I would've punched that dude in the face. He was like, maybe it wasn't that strong. Bitch, you see what this thing did? Like, he was out here fading everybody. Come on, bro. Like, that dude had me so hot. I'm like, how you gonna say maybe it wasn't that strong? It just demolished like 5-6 heroes straight.
You're always going to have haters.
But what I love about it was Saitama seeing the situation. He understood that this dude, you know what I'm saying, like, is making the other heroes look bad. And he was like, because I'm a true hero and I don't mind what the other people think, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, I took advantage of y'all making them weaker to make myself look better so people could, you know what I'm saying, respect the other heroes more. That to me, that's just iconic. And that's what, like, you know what I'm saying, really represents the show, is that Saitama, to me, every time he's in a situation, he shows that he's a real hero, you know what I'm saying?
Now, one big disappointment to me, not really like about the series in general, but it was the way the anime showed his last punch on season 2 when he hit the centipede guy. I just want people to know that they didn't say serious punch, and I think it's very important to say the serious punch because it shows you the gauge of his strength when he's really trying. And they didn't say it in the anime, but in the manga it does say serious punch when he does that punch. So just keep that in mind because I know they're making another season and most likely gonna be real good.
And I totally agree because it's setting up the levels. Because again, like as you know, obviously Saitama, anytime he punches somebody, they kind of they get defeated.
Yeah.
But him showing the serious punch, and what I love about it too is that his whole thing is he's looking for somebody stronger to fight him. I know eventually, from what I believe, is that he's gonna get to the point where he's gonna have to learn a martial arts or something, a better way of fighting, because soon he's gonna hit somebody with a serious punch and they're gonna be able to take it. And then that's when his training arc, goes forward, which I think will be really interesting.
Now that we've had a few decades of phenomenal writing and top-tier animation, the genre we love so much is now completely worldwide. So it's time for us to take a step back and ask,
who do you feel belongs in the Mount Rushmore of animes?
This is a very difficult question for me because I'm a stickler for endings. I really think, you gotta finish strong.
Okay.
And my list has changed because two that I definitely had on my Mount Rushmore, I don't really care for the ending. And then there's another one that probably on Mount Rushmore that has not ended. So let's do it like this. So my Mount Rushmore, and we're just gonna talk about shonen anime because it's definitely different if you bring a shoujo.
Of course, yeah.
But so it'll be obviously One Piece. It's kind of like I don't want to put it on the same tier. It's like if there's a god Mount Rushmore of one, that'll be One Piece, and then
One Piece to me is a solid one. I definitely think so because of the strength of how long it's been running, how relevant it's been running, and just how it just introduces concepts that we're somewhat already used to, but showing it from a different point of view.
So like I said, it's on there, but it's just, to me, it's so much higher than everything else that it's kind of difficult. But back to the other, so Naruto, Bleach, and Hunter x Hunter, right, would be, I guess, the three rounding out the other, right? But I feel like all three of them are flawed in this way. Both Bleach and Naruto's ending, I didn't necessarily care for. And yes, I finished both of them. Yeah, I don't care for the endings. The show started off very strong, and at one point in time, I thought Naruto was the greatest anime I've ever seen.
Yeah.
One Piece clearly destroyed that narrative, you know what I'm saying? But I watched Naruto first. I thought Naruto was better than One Piece for a very long time until they overtook it. And Hunter x Hunter, as amazing as it is, I don't think it's ever gonna get finished, to just be honest. And it's hard to put it on Mount Rushmore if it never ends. If you never finish the story, how can it be on Mount Rushmore? So that's my dilemma as far as that.
Well, I do have One Piece on that Mount Rushmore. Even though it's not over, I feel like it's a classic, not going nowhere. You could reanimate it, do whatever you want to do. The story is gonna live on forever. It's the Shakespeare work of our time. After that, I have Hunter x Hunter on there. Even though Hunter x Hunter's not finished, I feel like Hunter x Hunter's power system and that the way they wrote the story as if something bigger and bigger just kept happening puts it in a category, I think it's like a blueprint that a lot of people used for their anime to be like, okay, I can actually make my story even deeper if I do that. My next one would be Demon Slayer for the animation. The way they stepped up the animation, I think Demon Slayer changed the way some people angle how they promote their anime. When you had the situation where they put the Mugen Train in theaters and people went and saw it and were like, oh my God, it was a long time. Like we don't usually see canon material in theaters. It's always some story that like nestled in between the seasons, something that wouldn't really actually happen, or you'd have the progression of them character getting a power that is never brought up again. So I think them making canon movies and somehow still finding a way to put it into the season changed the entire game. So it has to go on the Mount Rushmore on that. After that, I'd say Akira, because Akira opened up the door for a lot of people when it came to anime, especially in the American market. They've never seen anything like that. At one point, it was just your standard cartoons, or some things were anime, but you didn't know they were anime at the time, depending on what your age was at the time. But Akira changed the game.
I definitely, all those were classics. I mean, you also got Gurren Lagann, if you haven't seen that. And for me, I don't really like mecha anime. Gurren Lagann was so good that that's the one mecha anime that I actually watched. It's a classic. It's a very good anime. It's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you have.
But what was its impact on society? Because everything we kind of named have like this really, really big impact.
So, and that is the crux. So, are we talking about cultural impact, or are we talking about what you think is just a? Because, for instance, right, we love Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, you know what I'm saying, did show canon anime as, you know what I'm saying, it made having canon in movies a thing. But but there's definitely did, you know, obviously My Hero was doing anime movies before Demon Slayer, you know.
But it wasn't on that scale.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't canon. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Or like, is it wrong with Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon?
I remember
Also,
the Dragon Ball Z movies. They were never canon.
So like, again, Demon Slayer I think had definitely a bigger cultural impact.
Correct.
And if we're talking about cultural impact, then that definitely changes the narrative. For me, when I look at a Mount Rushmore, I look at, for me, what anime did I either impact me, or at one point I thought this could be the best thing I've seen, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I view it. But if you want to talk about culturally,
it has to be culture to me.
Because if that's the case, then we have to put Dragon Ball Z in there. We have to put Pokemon in there. Because those cultural impacts, and let's be honest.
They do have the biggest cultural impact.
And for me, like, again, people are going to get upset about this, but DBZ story is god-awful. It's just god-awful story. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? I know.
Can we admit that now? Is that...
Listen, and I grew up on Dragon Ball Z. I watched it on Toonami and everything. But it is a god-awful story that they keep on remaking and redoing, and now they're trying to redo it again. It's god-awful. But the impact of DBZ on just a whole generation of people is undeniable.
Well, I do feel like it has great impact. But my issue is the story also, and somewhat the animation nowadays, when you look back on it.
Yeah. It did not stand the test of time.
Yeah, because I know it had the impact. I looked at everything else that had impact like it, like One Piece, but then I look at how those stories stacked up. It's not as if Dragon Ball Z was written at a time when storytelling wasn't intricate, because there was a lot of stories that were actually written around that same time. People just enjoyed those stories more. For some reason, we just liked watching people get beat up.
That is Dragon Ball Z's strong point. The fighting was definitely the strong point. But again, if we want to talk about cultural impact, you cannot overlook Pokemon.
No, you definitely can't.
And story-wise, Pokemon's story is not bad. The only problem with Pokemon's story is that they got kind of greedy and they wanted to add in more and more Pokemon. But overall, if you just look at the 150,
they should have never went past the 150.
Him becoming a Pokemon trainer, it's a solid story with solid, you know what I'm saying, everything. Like, you know, him getting into being a Pokemon trainer, him getting his Pokemon, him becoming friends with Pikachu, and all that stuff, and being the only Pokemon that doesn't want to go into the Pokeball. Everything about Pokemon was good, and the cultural impact, video games, movies, card games. I mean,
worldwide sensation.
Worldwide sensation. I mean, literally at conventions they sing the theme song in a group. Like, come on. So
what you mean during the lockdowns? Weren't we just walking around with our phones?
Pokemon Go, exactly.
Trying to catch them all.
So that's why for me, like, I don't really look at cultural impact that much, because there's definitely shows I think had a way bigger impact. But to me, like, there's certain shows that resonate more, and that's what matters more to me. Does it resonate with me personally? And that's why One Piece, to me, even though Naruto, a lot of people would say Naruto had a bigger impact than One Piece does. I know more people that said Naruto is the greatest show they've ever seen than One Piece. But as a fan of anime, a fan of storytelling, it's not even comparable.
Yeah, it's not. The ending, like I said, my gripe with the series, reanimation, jutsu, it bothered me. It felt like you didn't have an army ready, and you just wrote it in there. And I'm the type of person where I believe you pre-write your story to beginning to end. So there might be a chance that it was already written like that. I just don't like the execution of it, but that's just me.
For me, I feel like it seemed very unprepared, because if I'm the Akatsuki and I'm battling every nation, I'm going to get their tail beasts, I'm attacking all these people. You mean to tell me you only had like 10 Akatsuki members to fight like 5 or 6 nations? Come on, man. It seemed like he was very ill prepared. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then luckily somebody came and said, hey, I'll just reanimate every dead character ever and help you guys out. That's just how it felt to me. But again, obviously, like I said, Naruto, Bleach, they had really big impacts. You know what I'm saying? Even Yu Yu Hakusho or Inuyasha.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Big impacts. But to me, Inuyasha, you know what I'm saying, it's not that great. I'm just being honest.
Again, the story and the
storytelling,
villain
yeah, like, you know, they still haven't got the villain. So it's like, it's always about what resonates to me. It's not so much like, obviously canon and certain animes like that don't have that big of an impact to me resonate more because I remember the storyline so vividly and it was so different. It was so jarring the way he does his anime. So that's how I always view things. I view how does it impact you personally.
Now, a lot of people are going to be kind of hot about us not adding JJK.
This is the thing. And again, like I said, I'm a stickler for endings. Mm-hmm. I need to know how it ends because I've seen how, and obviously we don't read the manga, so
yeah.
But I've seen how shows can be classics and have a horrible ending and ruin the show. Case in point, Game of Thrones. Oof. All right, great show, amazing show. I can't even put it in my top shows because these guys butchered the ending. Correct. To the point where to me, it's just, I don't even talk about it anymore. and what I've noticed a lot of times is, even if the middle of a series is not great, if you end it off really well, you just love the show. You know what I'm saying? But it's the last taste that you get of this show. So when the ending is bad, you don't really remember all the great that the show gave you. But if I've watched, for example, where, a season was like, it was kind of, iffy. But then it ended so well, I was like, man, this season's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
You know what I'm saying? You might slow down in the middle, cool, whatever. But if you start strong and end strong, people tend to like the show. So JJK has an amazing start. Demon Slayer has an amazing start. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But again, I don't know how they end. And I think, I've heard people be upset about some of the Demon Slayer ending because, some things they've seen. I don't know about JJK, but when they are, to me, the next tier of classics. You know what I'm saying? That could very well be on the Mount Rushmore. But I gotta see how they end.
And I also have to see how My Hero Academia ends.
Exactly.
So Luffy and Zoro took on two of the strongest people in One Piece, and we got to witness them in full action, which gave us a glimpse into the power and loyalty of Zoro and the absolutely mind-boggling ability of Luffy. So we have to ask the question,
who had the better fight? Luffy versus Kaido or Zoro versus King?
As much as this pains me to say, because I am a staunch Zoro supporter, Luffy had the better fight. Obviously, one, because it was in multiple parts. It was just longer, just in general.
Okay.
Secondly, he had a whole transformation. You know what I'm saying? The animation was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Iconic lines. You know what I'm saying? Beat. You know what I'm saying? He's saying as hard as a drum.
Yeah.
It just his fight was. It was just better. It was, you know what I'm saying? There's not really much you can. As much as I love the Zoro fight with King, and the animation was amazing, and obviously when Zoro became the King of Hell was dope, but there's no question the Luffy fight was better.
I feel as if you could make an argument that the Zoro fight was better. What you said about being longer, I'm not talking about longer. Everybody knows just because something's longer doesn't make it better. All right?
Agree.
Now, I felt like because the Zoro fight was more condensed, it moved me through all the emotions that I felt during the Luffy fight. When you're talking about the heart pumping, that heart pumping thing actually happened with Zoro first, then Luffy. Remember? Because he pumped Haki into his heart, and he was like, hey, you're gonna die if you do that. Yes. And he was like, I don't care. But what I really love about it is just the staging. Since it was a shorter fight compared to multiple fights, you had Zoro was trying to master his sword. The flashback of the dude who made the sword telling him whoever masters the sword essentially is the King of Hell, because that's the sword that he made, and that's why he was deemed the King of Hell. Mm-hmm. You had him fighting a villain who essentially couldn't be hurt. So he's trying to figure out the sword, he's trying to figure out your ability, and he's going through all this, and we're getting some of the most beautifully drawn flashbacks. The reanimation of him joining Luffy's crew, right? Remember that? The reanimation of when the girl that he used to challenge when he was a kid, her passing away, they reanimated that. So I'm sitting back watching this whole... Koina, correct. So I'm sitting back watching this, and I'm like, wow, the reanimation is phenomenal. The struggle that he's going through is an actual real struggle, unlike when he fought Pika, which Pika just ran the whole time. Yeah. So I'm like, this is actually a fight that's challenging him. And I started to really love that. And then the icing on the cake is showing that King is kind of him. King said, I told Kaido I'd never be defeated. The same way he said I'd never be defeated. Then you get to watch King's background story of him locked up, him getting freed by Kaido, showing that that matching storyline that he has kind of with Luffy. So I completely think that was a phenomenal fight. And when you talk about animation, come on. The sword fighting was top tier. I've seen a lot of the sword fights in One Piece, and this was on a whole nother level. He came up with move after move after move and was just relentless, especially the way he ended it.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Zoro's my favorite character, so I don't have a problem with either fight. But just be honest, the Luffy fight's better. First of all, the situation where he was like, Momo, move the island.
Yeah.
That in itself, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, I believe in you. The statements he said, obviously, I already brought up the drum beat of the heart. Mm-hmm. And not only that, the animation, when he came up behind Kaido, it looked like, you know what I'm saying, he was some kind of demon.
Oh, yeah, the red eyes?
Yeah, the Thunder Bagawa, you know what I'm saying? It was a destroyer of words, Thunder Bagawa. Like, come on, man. When Luffy, like,
I'm not gonna lie.
He threw lightning bolts down on the ground and went the bouncing around. Like, it's, the animation in general was...
All of Kaido's attacks sounded like...
Yeah, like...
Whoever he invented those attacks for and got hit with those were done like destroyer of worlds.
It was the crazy... That man, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
But don't get me wrong, I love the quotes, but there's a few things that were answered during that fight with King. Like, people debated who's stronger, Zoro or Sanji. We know for a fact now, Zoro. We wonder
whoever debated that is a fool, okay?
The Sanji fans were...
Sanji fans, you're delusional. You're delusional, I'm on record. There was never a conversation, okay? And I've had a video discussing why he would wipe the floor with Sanji. But continue.
The other thing that they confirmed was that he is truly the right-hand man. Not only that, they pushed it a step further. He said, my best friend. So now you're like, he is Luffy's best friend. He is the right-hand man. He is stronger than Sanji. Those are so many things that were answered during that one battle. So you get just phenomenal storytelling on Zoro in that fight.
I mean, first of all, I already knew that, you know what I'm saying, he was Luffy's best friend and his right-hand man because he was the only person who could check Luffy. Do not forget, when Usopp had the audacity to leave the crew, the only person who said he will not be on this ship or I am leaving is Zoro. And Luffy said, do I want Zoro or Usopp? He was ready to leave Usopp on that island and take off.
He just realized that he was right. It wasn't I'd rather...
I would leave this man. Because Zoro said, listen, we're real pirates here. We're not playing around. Now back to the topic at hand.
Yes.
Again, the way the fight started with the red rock, where he was like, I will be king of pirates. Like, there's so many iconic moments just from that battle that...
But you're saying that because it's longer.
It's not necessarily because it's longer. It's because, you know what I'm saying, for me, like, they showed the past to Kaido. They showed how
the king.
They showed how. So everything that you said with you know, as far as the Zoro and King fight, they did with the Kaido fight.
Yes,
but here's the thing,
but it was
also
condensed.
But here's what y'all understand. Even him saying there is no Joy Boy because no one defeats you. When King told that to Kaido, he was like, you know, say whoever defeats Kaido is Joy Boy, but he'll never be there. That's how it basically crowned Luffy as Joy Boy. Even like you said, the King of the Hell situation, this is the Joy Boy situation. So again,
yes, but he was always Joy Boy.
Listen,
we didn't know that conquering this sword, learning how to use this sword makes you. You didn't know that it was the King of Hell sword. It made him the King of Hell.
Listen, as much as I
and the way the narrator said it too, when he pushed and sent himself back up and landed and just created the crater, and they say the winner, Zoro.
I mean, again,
I was like, oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all for, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But even when he won, and you see the lanterns going up in the sky, and Luffy's in this, it was so cinematic, it was so iconic. It is what it is. And as much as like I said, I love the King fight. I love, you know what I'm saying, the Zoro fight. I love the animation where they started showing King as a child while they was fighting, all that stuff. But they did the same thing for the Luffy fight. So it's not, so everything that they did in the Zoro fight, they obviously did in the Luffy fight, but it was extended.
I'll give you that. It was extended. It was longer, yes, as I said.
And to me, like, the statements were more enjoyable. I can't think of any iconic statement that Zoro said in that fight. I mean, the most iconic statement I feel like he said was when he first used his Conquer Haki when he was before he started fighting King, where it was like, I'm not playing around, he slashed at Queen. That was like an iconic Zoro statement, but for the most part, there wasn't no iconic words or something that made you feel
my best friend? That's the way the episode ended. Y'all forget that. That's the way the episode ended. They did a close-up to the face, and he said his friend was, my best friend is going to be king of the goddamn pirates.
My dog Luffy
and
said,
then that thing hit you with a to be continued.
My dog Luffy
I was like,
said,
oh.
You think I'm afraid of dying? I've never been afraid. I ain't worried about them. I'm not worried about
But
that.
Zoro did it first. You see no part with the hockey. He goes, I'll die if I pump this much hockey. And he's, I don't care.
Listen, man.
That's what I knew. I'm like, oh, you built different.
Again.
You're built different.
Like I said.
You could have been a captain on your own.
Of course.
You probably could have been king of the pirates.
I don't see
He could have been king of the pirates.
He had to run into Luffy, and I think Luffy would have got that done.
Oh, man.
But
that's another conversation we could have another day.
Definitely. But, you know what I'm saying? For me, like I said, I love both fights. I think both fights are iconic. I think, you know what I'm saying, obviously giving love to Sanji. The Queen and Sanji fight was dope as well. But it's not, to me, it's not even a conversation, like I said.
What I felt like, this is Zoro and Luffy. In the beginning of the fight, when Luffy got to the rooftop, and, you know, he sent he told Law, he goes, send them downstairs. That was some epic stuff. I'm gonna give Luffy that at the beginning of that fight. Like, just him showing up and him walking, Big Mom standing there, Kaido standing, like, Big Mom talking, oh, what was that you were saying? Like, when you was on that phone telling her you gonna come in there and whoop her. She's like, what was that, all that stuff you were talking? Kaido, that's him, right? That's that Luffy guy, ain't it?
She said, Kaido, what are you doing? How you gonna let him knock you down like that? Boy, red rock, right?
That was great, but to me, the highlight of the Kaido Luffy fight is really not the episode where he transforms into Gear 5, because that's kind of more or less showing you the past, so on and so forth. It's like the very next episode, I believe, when they had the fight, or the episode after, where the scene where, you know, he does have the red eyes, he's grabbing the lightning bolts out of the sky, he's tossing them down, he's making the ground like freaking rubber.
Yeah.
I love that Kaido actually was using the rubber, bouncing himself off the rubber thing to give himself leverage on some of the attacks too. I thought that was dope for the animators to put together.
Yeah. So
but that Looney Tune style fighting was just it was gorgeous. It was beautiful.
And that's like, again, that's another thing that, you know what I'm saying, that does have over the Zoro fight. As great as Zoro fight was, the Luffy fight had multiple different animations. They had the Looney Tune animation. Yeah. They also had the, you know what I'm saying, they did the Zoro animation as well. And it's just overall like,
yeah, I'll say that it had more
diversity.
More diversity. It was the style of the art was just everywhere, and it worked very well. The animators did their thing, man.
And I think it's more to come. So obviously, when the season continues, we're gonna see a lot more amazing fights.
A lot more fights, and tell us if you want us to talk about another fight. Now, family, you have to choose one of these two options. First, to your left, you have an anime video essay. And on your right, you have another anime podcast episode. So choose your next piece of entertainment wisely, and I will see you when you get to the next video.